Welcome in, welcome in. Friday is here. We're at the end of the week, but Jake, luckily for the people, that doesn't mean we have a diminished amount of information. We have a ton to talk about, but as always, before we dive in, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm good. I'm good. What is up, Bama Football on YouTube, undefeated chat, and everybody tuning in. We appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to wherever you are. Could be good evening. Could be good morning or good evening. One of the two. But yo, Ty, how are you today? I'm doing good, man. It's just start to the morning. Feel good. A little gloomy in the south today. Very interesting. The clouds whenever they roll in through the south is it's always impactful, right? Like I'm a weather guy. You know what I mean? Weather guy for sure. Like I love the weather of the south. Okay, like a big thunderstorm comes in and it blows shit up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
we're a little bit different here, right? I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
disagree, but maybe
Yeah.
it's because I grew up in like the middle of Texas. I say the middle, like center Texas, northernmost part before you get to Oklahoma. I got
Uh,
used to like 145 degrees in the shade where there's
oh my
the
goodness.
trees are only like 10 feet tall, right? And it's a lot of mesquite trees. So you'd be riding
Mhm.
horses trying to go get a horse from the field. You're out there. And,
Yeah.
if something spooks the horse, it goes through the mesquite trees. I'm pulling thorns out my leg about like that.
Whoa. I
Um,
mean, I've heard they're big. I haven't seen one, but
oh,
yeah.
they're like that, and they have something on them that causes more irritation. Neither here nor there. But
Dang,
because
dude.
of that, whenever it gets cloudy, whenever it
Uh,
gets rainy, I'm like,
yeah.
this is the best because it's no longer 345 degrees in Texas. I'm happy. It's a great day.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what else makes this a great day is everybody from the undefeated is in here. We have Kimberly, we have Cynthia, we have Kevin, we have Caleb. And Caleb, I have a question. I saw you said there was
Okay.
some anger last night. What did I miss?
We'll talk about that. Yeah, we can
But
talk about
Lisa Fitz, I gotta ask the question: Are you like in our heads right now? Because that's exactly where we planned on starting today, right? The no
Mhm.
cadence issues. We know a few days ago, Ryan Day came out and said that he felt like the snap problems at Alabama were due to the quarterback cadence issues. Now, I thought that that was ridiculous, but
Mhm.
admittedly, I might not know enough about playing Division One NCAA center, but from just a pure logical standpoint, the ball has to get from point A to point B. It doesn't matter if you have a net back there, a wall back there, or a trash can back there. It's got to get there. That's the
100.
one constant in football. It's the only
Seriously.
thing that happens every darn play, Jake.
Well, it's funny that they, just there was a question about it, and we'll talk more about like Katie's interview after this last practice. But I will say like from that standpoint of highlighting something so I don't know, so elementary school, so basic, so common sense, like and to say, well, that could be an issue. I mean, it goes back. Like I just don't. I never understand some of the like. Do you think and think about things before you say them, right? Like, so one of the ways when they do media training for for the athletes when you come in, because you have to have media training, and it'll be interesting to see today too, Ty, as we make hand motions, how many different things show up. Whether it's a stream, whether it's bubbles, whether it's fireworks, whether it's some hearts. We'll see. But
And to let
um,
everybody know,
oh, dude, it froze again.
Blaze, did it?
Yeah, it's freezing a little bit. Yeah, yeah, just
Okay,
some
okay,
short
okay.
frames.
We're
You're good.
good
You're
though.
good.
We're good. To
Yeah,
let
we're good.
everybody know, Blaze said something last night about Surströmming, a popular Swedish dish, and now the Swedes have come and got him, and now he has to answer for not liking one of their famous foods. So
I love
it's
it.
going to be a little bit before we see Blaze again. I can't go and get him like I did last time in Lithuania.
Yeah,
He's got to answer for what he did, right? At some point, you got to let him learn, right, Jake?
that's right, man. It's accountability. Accountability. Just
You got to let him learn.
you do. It's like you get arrested, mom and dad are gonna let you sit in jail for the night. It's kind of how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But no, seriously, you go back to it, and it's the same thing. It's like, do we got to do that for Ryan Day? Do we just got to let him learn? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you have media training, and you have to. They really emphasize like thinking about like taking a time before you say something and thinking about it in media training. Because if you say something especially when you're out there interviewing, it's how do you say it's out there forever. It's there. You cannot say I didn't say that, right? You can't go backwards and do the little kid thing. So I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny when you hear little kids and they're like, I'm like, dude, I just heard you say that. No, I didn't say that. That's not what
And
it. That's not it.
you know
You
what's
know?
so fascinating about this to me, Jake? As
Mm.
someone like who I love, like to this day, I go back. I have an actual book behind me, famous speeches. I love dissecting like famous
Oh yeah.
speeches, reading
Oh yeah.
them, all of that.
Hmm.
And one thing that it's so fascinating because there's this like paradox where I
Yeah.
love when someone speaks off the cuff, right? Like I love
Oh
when
yeah.
someone says,
Hmm.
"Okay, I do have this speech training, but I have something I need to say." And it will move the needle, whether in a
Hmm.
positive way or a negative way. But I also don't know that I don't think that's what Ryan Day is doing, right? Like I
Hmm.
don't think that this to me what this is being just unnecessary. I don't
Unnecessary.
understand how that comment moved the needle in any positive way for you, right? I
Yeah.
understand whenever Jalen Milrow, for instance, here's a great one. Whenever he was
Uh,
talking about, well, Bill O'Brien didn't want me to play quarterback, so
yeah.
who's right now? You know, if we're talking media training, maybe you don't say that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I loved it because that's it. That's an example of when I have something I need to say, and this is going to
Hmm.
move the needle. Some people
I'm
are not going to like it, some people will, but I have something I need to say with purpose. Ryan Day's statement contained no purpose.
no purpose. Zero. And that's funny you bring that up too, right? Because I'm one of those people, interesting enough, like I am deaf, 100% deaf in my left ear. Have been my entire
Really?
life. Yes, 100%. So like I can't hear like especially in a football game, right? I cannot hear like in a large crowd. I can't hear the plays. So I had to do everything based off of what I saw. I had to learn the hand signals. I had to see everything myself. I had to basically be the middle linebacker. And then from there, the next part of that is one thing you start to pick up on when you have a hearing loss like that is you start to really learn going forward how to pick up on body language, how to pick up on people's facial expressions, what they do with, I mean, honestly, every little thing. And then then constantly everything around you. All right. So it's unique. Like the smallest movements, the smallest little things you are paying attention to, just because you have to like see things to understand what's going on. But as a kid, because of that, I had a bad speech impediment. So I couldn't go to school for the longest time because my learning was behind due to the fact that I had a hard time communicating. Um, and so I was homeschooled, right? And I appreciate my mom for doing that. But what's interesting with this is when I had to learn to speak into going forward through life, I found out that I'm one of those people who I really emphasize like my the way I sound, the words I use, and I think about those things, right? You see that a lot with Kalen DeBoer, I think too. You listen to his interviews, even with Ryan Fowler on 100.9 The Tide, right? um, he had an interview, I think it was yesterday. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. But there were certain things like a way a word was said, whether it was the past tense or current tense or future tense, right? The way the word was said, he was very particular about how things are said. And I love that. Like I love that thought process because it's amazing to think about how many times do you go through a day and you have a conversation with somebody, all right? And you do not think about the way you're presenting the conversation, like whether it's in the language, your body language, the sound of your voice, the things I do right now, like where I'll pause and emphasize something. Like there's something you think about the way you present that. I mean, there's a lot of things you can honestly fix for the better or help get points across better for everybody around you. So it's weird when you got guys who are in such big positions they don't think about all those aspects. Because I mean, you're at one of the top universities in the country, um, on football at least. So a lot of people pay attention to what you have to say. You know.
And Like I said, at the end of the day, I liken this back because I do find there is this battle within me where
Mhm.
I completely agree, right? I think media training, especially for people in front of cameras, it's necessary, right? I
Mhm.
had to be trained, right? I had a professor. I've said I don't know if I've told you this, Jake. I had
No.
a professor, and she would bring in different judges and lawyers from DFW, listen to us present. But if we started saying stuff like while we were
Yeah.
presenting, she had a spray bottle. She,
Oh, that's a great idea.
and like hit and so that's I mean it was like militant in the speech training but it was awesome, right? It was so great.
Mhm.
And as much as I think that that's necessary, I do love when people just say forget that, let me say my message, let me say my truth. But that always has to come with the caveat of that statement, that truth, that message has to have purpose behind it. Now, understand this about purpose, ladies and gentlemen. Just because we may not understand the purpose does not mean that there is not a purpose there.
True
A lot of
fact.
the times, sometimes it's just about moving the needle. It's
That's
about
right.
creating a reaction. For the
Mhm.
life of me, I cannot fathom what the purpose of Ryan Day's statements were. I cannot fathom why you're talking about a quarterback who made it to the college football playoffs while you were sitting at home.
That's weird.
A
I don't get it.
quarterback that took Michigan to overtime while they have kicked your butt for 3 straight years. And granted, they kicked your butt whenever Jim Harbaugh wasn't there.
Mhm.
So to
Mhm.
me, Merrill, and let me know
Mhm.
what you think. I think this is projecting. I think from everything we've seen this year, Ryan Day feels the heat. Ryan Day
Oh,
feels
yeah.
the uncomfortableness amongst the decision makers. And I said
Oh,
this
yeah.
before. If I was just to say Coach A, Coach B, Coach C, and give you their
Mhm.
all time records,
Yep.
people would think I was crazy for saying Ryan Day may be on the hot seat because his
Mhm.
overall record is impeccable.
Oh,
Statistically
yeah.
speaking, it's up there, man. But that's when
Mhm.
nuance matters. And I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
feeling the heat. It's the Pat McAfee interview, right? In front of touchdown Jesus. It's the Jalen Milrow comment.
Yeah.
Like it's everything I'm seeing. I think he
Mhm.
feels the walls closing in.
Oh, yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, completely. I think, I mean, that is a huge, huge point. We could talk about that all day with Ryan Day and what maybe is going on there. I would honestly, that is the one team I hope we face. I want to
Oh,
play them so damn bad. I want to see, because I know DeBoer and how he, I've seen the different styles of what he's played against for so long with other teams, right? Because he's seen different for a lot of different versions of offenses and defenses, especially defenses from a standpoint of just all the places he's been at different levels, and the way teams get innovative as you go, like even NAIA, you got to get really innovative, right? And so I think you see that there. You also see it as you jump to what I think it was like Eastern Michigan. You see that he gets to face these opponents that when he's coaching Indiana, he gets to face other opponents at Fresno State. I think, and obviously Washington this last year, he really got to see because I mean, it's one of those years where you had like the Pac-12 was good. I mean, they
it
were good.
was. It was.
So in the end of the day, like I have seen him play now a lot of styles that touch, a lot of SEC ties that touch a lot of East Coast ties. I want to see him play team like Ohio State. And the Michigan game wasn't. It's hard to talk about with the Michigan game because I know the plan that they had in place was really, really good. The reason I say that is you just have to look at after we get out of that weird mindset or funk of the first basically quarter. After that, they shut Michigan down pretty well from a defensive standpoint. With a subpar defense, that defense wasn't the best. Wasn't very good actually at all. They had no penetration in the line. You've run a 4-2-5. I've talked about it the whole time. You need penetration in the line. So. But their offense could not get in a groove. And I think that had nothing to do with DeBoer. It had nothing to do with what Michigan was doing at all. It was completely the psychological game of the game being too big, right? Like too much media attention. If you've noticed before in all of the games they had ever played. The media aspect was not something DeBoer let the team get real deep into once the season started. There's interviews here and there, but other than that, he's very broad. He's very broad, get the interviews through. He's going to be respectful, but for the most part, he's very broad, and we're done from there, right? I think the media attention that you get at those huge games caused that loss to Michigan. I do not think it was their own play. If it was play, it was because they beat themselves. They could have kicked Michigan's ass. I'll be straight with you on that. So I think that's why I'm excited to see them play. I want them to play like an Ohio State. I want them to play Michigan. I want them to play these teams who claim now that our style or that style of play can beat SEC powerhouses. And that's, come on, man.
But you want to know what I always, whenever people, and Shane, you asked a question, I'm going to put that back up here because we will talk lightly about that before we move into topic number 1. But just having this general discussion to start the show, every time someone has said, Jake, hey, they're not going to be able to win because, the SEC is the SEC style. I always ask everybody, what happened when A&M and Missouri came to the SEC? Did their offenses find success? Because the answer to that is yes. I'm not saying they came in there winning national championships, going undefeated. What I'm saying is they brought a different style of offense that now SEC teams, it wasn't facing it once a year. It was facing it every single week in, week out. You had this Big 12 style of offense that had now come to the SEC. And honestly, I think it's one of the best things that happened to the SEC within the past few decades, because look at how the game rapidly changed, one across all of college football, but you had A&M come in, right? Spreading things in Missouri. And next thing you know, you got linebackers at Alabama that formerly would have been safeties that are flying around the field, knocking heads off. Like the game, everybody in the SEC adapted. And so this type of offense absolutely can work. And yes, they will adapt, but that's where Kalen DeBoer has always been forthright. I am someone who tailors my offense to the personnel, meaning adaption is king. That's the name of the game here. Now, I do want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to make this one point. I think it's, in the end of the day, it's evolution, right? If you do not evolve, you die. Straight up. That's just how it works. Some things die slower than others. Okay. But I think with DeBoer, what you have constantly seen, and if you guys want to continue, or if people want to argue this point of like, he won't do as well here. Well, that's not true, because if you look at everywhere he goes and everything he does, man, there's a story in his life. I wish I could get in depth on it, but there's a story in his life about him stepping up for his family as a young kid. What his mom said about him. He's raised, I think, as in a household where by a single mom. Okay. And there's a story that she talks about him stepping up. You can watch someone's, I guess, points in life of significance and what happens and how things change and how they are able to evolve and be the best they can be, right? Throughout their time frame in life. And you can see that in a coaching career, especially. And with KD, he has this knack. I think he does it better than anybody else. No matter where he goes, what he does, he's able to evolve with what is around him, utilize it as resources, and win, whether that's in a life aspect or whether that's in a football game. And that goes to a lot to say of just who he is as a person and why people respect him so much too, because he does it with humility and with a unique kindness, but precision and accuracy. He'll smile at you while he's in the sniper rifle. All right.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah. So, and now listen, speaking of ideas that I like, Crimson Blood with the $10 says, Coach Ty and Coach Merrill need a segment in a whiskey room or cigar lounge backdrop talking Bama football. That would be problematic because let me tell you what, I do enjoy a nice cigar.
Me too.
I would love that. That's actually kind of what I always was hoping. Like if I got picked up by a 24/7 Sports, it would be very laid back, very conversational, let's have these coaches come in here. They can enjoy the evening. We might put on some film, have you a whiskey, have you a cigar. Let's talk football. Let's talk life. Like, that's what I really wanted to do. But that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Crimson.
Man. We should just do a podcast, do it that way. Boom.
That'd be awesome, man. Crimson, thank you for the $10. That's a great idea. Man. And then Dwight coming in here, gifting one Bama Football on YouTube membership to Kyle Henderson. I said that out of order. Dyslexia is alive and well in me. But thank you so much, Dwight, for the support. You have been a huge supporter of the channel, and we really appreciate it. Now, to answer Shane's question about Caleb Downs coming back, is it rumors? Is it truth? I'm an opinion piece, right? Like, I sometimes get inside knowledge. I get it. People send it to me. But I really do prefer to kind of just be a fanalist, right? Like, I prefer being a fan that just gets to talk college football and read tea leaves. I think it's fun when I'm wrong because I get to learn, why was I wrong? Where was I misled in my analysis? How can I improve? Like, that to me is awesome. I love reading tea leaves. So everything I tell you is just an opinion, Shane, and everybody in the Undefeated. I want to start with that. I'll believe it when I see it. That's what I'll say. Yeah. But granted, I would have said the same thing with Caden Proctor. So roundabout way of saying, I have no idea what's going on in college football anymore. So but I don't think Ohio State, at least in terms of his Instagram, the Ohio State was never in his bio. Now, whether he followed them, I don't know. I don't know any of that. But I do remember, I don't know whether it was 24/7 Sports or On3. There were Ohio State fans like 2-3 weeks after he got there. And they were like, oh, are we in trouble? Like, he hasn't put Ohio State in his bio. Is he unhappy here? But I just don't ever think that it was there. So I would say he's going to be at Ohio State, right? It's one thing to go from Iowa back to Alabama.
Yeah. 100.
But as much as I hate to admit it, Ohio State, it's one of those programs, right? Like, it's one of those programs where you're in good hands there. Even though you'd be in better hands in Alabama, you're in good hands there.
I know. It's funny because I sit there and I talk, about Ryan Day and whatnot, and it's just because I don't like seeing guys who have like when you're in a position of leadership like that, such a large position, you need to be able to demonstrate some ability, like self-control a little more so than others who need to in the world, just because you're a mentor and people are looking up to you and you're being watched. So it's funny when you hear him react to like Lou Holtz, right? And it actually pisses him off. It's like, dude, Lou Holtz is, he's a legendary coach, but what is he, in his 90s, 80s, 90s? I mean, come on, man. Like, okay.
Going after him.
Seriously, out of all the people, that's who you go after. And then you get pissed off live on TV with a fake Lou Holtz sitting next to you, which was hilarious. It was funny. It's one of the funny things I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was great. The impression of the guy's doing was awesome. So, but I'll tell you, man, that's the part where I'm like, geez, but I have a lot of respect for those programs. Honestly, all of them who can win. And I think on Caleb's side, I mean, maybe that's those smoke and mirrors got him a little more money. That could be it, right? Maybe there was just people rumors that got spread really quickly because of, Caden Proctor.
I do understand the optics of this statement, but in fairness, we are in a different type of environment in college football, right? Like where things are just changing. But Kevin, in fairness, I do understand the optics of that. Yeah. Fair point.
That's hilarious. That's funny, man. That's a good one.
I'll tell you what else is good.
Yo, please.
You had something you wanted to dive into about Coach DeBoer and his speech after practice.
Yeah, it was impressive. I liked what he had to say. Did you get to hear a little bit about it?
I heard a little bit of it. People are saying run the commercial. We'll run the commercial here after our first segment, and then we'll get into that. But we're in flow state right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Flow state.
Shout out to all of the sponsors, residents in Ocean City, Maryland. If I move up to Virginia, you bet your sweet Bippy I'm going to be doing some content from there. RogueShop.com, promo code Bama, legal CBD. Listen, I come from a line of hippies. Enough said, right? Sponsor, Demetrius Maynard Group. Demetrius Maynard of the Maynard Group, huge supporter of the channel. Love that he allows us to continue doing this. We support and love all of our sponsors. We will run that commercial here in a little bit, but we'll get through this first segment and then we'll run that. But certainly shout out to all the sponsors. They really allow us to do what we do. Jake, I'm so sorry. You know me. I didn't mean to interject, but I can't.
No, you're right. You're spot on, man. Trust me, dude. Like this, you and me, we flow. We're good. You start talking, I jump right in and follow up with wherever you're at. Did you see this comment too with hacker music? If the coaches want a player back, I want them back. I don't like all the transferring, especially back and forth, but that's the world we are in. Might as well get the best players we can. No, 100. I'm not saying I don't want anybody back or want anybody to leave. I think in the end of the day, I'm okay with when a guy like has a decision and they do decide they need to leave, but give it time. Don't just like come here right away and then bounce. You know what I'm saying? Man, there's so many points to hit on. And I think they talked about like, so with DeBoer, we talked about practice. We talked about the install. DeBoer had his interview questions. It's funny because in one of the videos I heard, I can hear Smook asking a question.
I know, that's awesome.
That was awesome. I love that for him. So that's pretty cool, man. Like, and DeBoer was into that question. That was a good question, Smook. If you're listening, that was
great question.
Smook asked a great question.
Because it's super topical.
It is, and it's not so detailed. Like I hate when these guys get into like such detail. Like, look, coach is not going to give away all these things. Don't dig for information. I mean, in the end, I know that's your job, but at the same time, like give them a chance, give them something broad they can elaborate on, right? So, but there were several good questions. I mean, someone even brought up the snapping. Was there any issues with, the cadence? And he's like, we use a clap cadence.
It's you with the $5 once again. One more time before I got to run, guys. No cadence issue. Have a great show.
Thank you, Lisa.
Always. Right there.
100%. Like, and that was the case too. It's like he said, no, I haven't noticed anything, and he just answered the question like a normal, normal question. And, I like it. Is that for me or you?
No, one of the longtime viewers of the Undefeated, Jay Townsend, Skylar Cook says, how's your leg, Jay? Hope you're recovering swiftly. Man. Jay, I didn't realize anything had happened, my man. Hope everything is going well. Hope you are healthy. Hope you are happy. Hope you're taking this time to recover. That's terrible, man. I hope you're all good.
Yeah. I seriously, Jay, I do hope you're all good, man. And I love your updated picture. Look good, my friend.
Yeah.
Josh, any Keon Keeley news? I'm going to get to that.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Keon Keeley a little bit. There's some video on him. Yep. I think he's transitioning, and I think he just keep getting better. But
it looked much more natural than it did even a week ago, and that's impressive to me. Listen, I'm not saying it was a huge difference. But if you're able to digest information and apply it quickly, that's a key fundamental to success.
That's truly, it's funny because that's how KD talks about in his interview, right? So a lot of good questions in the interview. If you guys didn't listen to it, I would check it out. Some of the things that I noticed or I picked up on is he likes the energy in practice. There was complaints that some people saw clips of practice, that they saw guys being lazy and whatnot. And I'm sure look, in the end of the day, I know the standard at Bama is the standard, right? But I also will tell you this from the standpoint, no matter what, no matter where you go, these are still college age young men or guys coming out of high school. At one point or another, you might see them throw their hands on their hips. You might see them walk. This is still spring ball. Okay. This is still spring ball. This is their first full pads. Right. I think it was first full pads, which was nice. And on top of that, they are being aggressively, the installs of these packages are very aggressive. KD highlights that too. And what's going on, man? So I think that's one of the things, right, is that now we have this mental aspect of the game that a lot of people don't realize does take a toll on you. You're not just out there performing from a basic standpoint. These guys know the basics. They are some of the best. But from a standpoint of now learning some of the other stuff as the installs go in, it starts to kind of wear you down, and I'm excited to see as we get through like that first scrimmage, like how things are going. We do have some guys who are injured right now, and that's just kind of like the way camps roll. You see that no matter whether in the NFL, no matter who you are. So, and man, Jarvis, I'm always rocking Jordans, man. Whether it's my shoes, whether it's my shirt, I got not this hat, but the other hat I wear is a Jordan hat. I mean, I'm a big Jordan fan. That's
Oh,
why I'm all about that, man.
I got
Like,
engaged to my wife, right? So
yeah,
I told you my wife and I, we've been dating forever
yeah.
since
Hmm.
sophomore year of high school. We've been together
Oh, it's
forever,
wild.
right? We went through college together, high school together, the pandemic, started our careers, transitioned in careers, got married, right?
Hmm.
But and Jay, hopefully that recovery is going great.
100,
Glad to
man.
hear that you're doing good though, man. Please, by all means, man, maybe just keep us updated because this is gonna sound, but we get kind of invested. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
every day we see y'all in here, you guys participate, you guys contribute, quite frankly, to the content. Like you guys, especially, I love interacting with all of you.
Oh yeah,
And so please, periodically, please keep us updated. Really happy to hear that you're doing well, though. Really happy to
yeah,
hear that you're
100.
doing well.
Good.
But going
Hope
back
so,
on my
Jay.
Jordan tangent.
Yeah,
So
please.
I took her to Kennebunkport, Maine. Right. And
Okay,
it's an awesome little town up there in Maine. Like I
cool.
said, I
Okay.
got the family from the East Coast.
Hmm.
But she knew we were going to be getting engaged on that trip. That's what happens when you're with someone for like 10 years, right?
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
no secrets at that point.
yeah.
But I had to make it, and actually, ironically, Kennebunkport, Maine, on the
Oh, I
sweatshirt
like it.
right here.
Okay,
So
okay.
I had this sweatshirt on.
Hmm.
That place is dope type. Hey,
Oh, dude, that's cool,
love
man.
it. I love it up there, man. If I could, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I go to retire, I might have to go up there. It's sick,
Dude,
man.
you
I
just gave
love
me
it.
a new place to visit. I'm gonna write that down, dude. Like I love stuff like that.
The
So,
Bush Vacation Home is like right on
oh,
the
really?
water, and like it's sick, right? But not
Oh, wow.
so.
Okay,
In order to, yep. Look, he right on the same.
dude, I
Right
like
on the
it.
same. So
Yes.
in order to make it a surprise, I had on my
Uh,
gray Jordan 11s, right? I
okay.
had on some khakis and I had on this right here. And we went and ate. She was standing on the pier and I had hired a photographer to come. And she didn't know any of this. And so then when she turned around from taking pictures of the sailboat, ring there,
Hmm.
but I had to shroud it in subterfuge, right? I couldn't get all dressed up because then she'd know that it was about to happen, and I had to have some form of surprise. Roundabout way of telling you, I too am in love with the Jays. My engagement pictures are with me and Jordan 11s. Yeah, I got a whole
Yeah.
collection of them.
Oh man, I could go on about Jordans all day. Like I'm a retro one, or I'm a Jordan ones, or like retro threes. I love them.
Oh, threes and
Trust
11s
me,
are my favorites, man. Threes and
trust
11s
me,
are my
man.
favorite.
It's so dang expensive to find like some of the old ones though. That's the part about it. I'm gonna be straight. I would love to see. I like the Nike. I like the Nike with Alabama because I know that contract's coming up. I would love to
See
see though
Jordan?
them switch to Jordan. I think it would be epic. I think it belongs. If there's one brand that belongs with a college football team, it would be the Jordan brand in Alabama, just from a standpoint of if we really connect all that football, this is a place of champions. Okay, like that makes sense, right? To me at least. I don't know. Like some guys don't like it. I love it. It's still Nike. It's still the same materials for the most part.
That and so you look at OU reps Jordan, and the only reason I know this is
Hmm.
because I've told you I have a lot of good friends that make
Hmm.
great OU content and great college football
Yeah. Yeah.
minds as
100.
well.
Yeah.
And
100.
they have the team Jordans.
Yep.
Like every
Yep.
year, they might have a Jordan 4, a Jordan 11, and it's
Dude,
like
I love what they
custom
do with the teams.
OU Jordans. And if I could get my hands on some custom Alabama Jordans, it'd be a wrap.
Whoa. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple things I just looked at that were pretty close. but yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'm a big Jordan guy, so love to see them with Jordan. That'd be sweet. But going back
Prayers
to
up
KD
for
stuff,
the
man. What's up?
I'm so sorry, Jake, but
No, no, go
prayers
ahead.
up
I
for
didn't see it.
for Sarah's brother. She says my brother, a huge Bama fan living in Tennessee, had colon cancer surgery yesterday. Prayers
Oh
up.
wow.
Hopefully that goes well. Hopefully a speedy recovery and
Mhm.
good news on the horizon, right? We're all going to be wishing for that. Sarah, thank you
Yeah,
very much
Sarah.
for letting us know. Absolutely will be in our prayers. And
Mhm.
please update us with the good news once you get that good news.
Yeah, 100%. And then I know we had a super chat too with Austin.
Oh
Did we
my
get to this?
gosh. Austin, am so sorry.
Yeah.
I dropped the ball. Austin French
Mhm.
with the 4.99. I had it up here and I just
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Austin. That's 100% on me. He says, "So y'all think Ryan will start this year? And what wide receiver do you like? I like Bernard Law and Williams to start." That's a
Hmm.
tough question, but a great
That
one.
is
Don't sleep on Jalen Hale.
nah, do not sleep on Hale
He's
right now.
Timothy.
He is I think Hale's about to have probably one of the biggest seasons you can see for a wide receiver. I really do. I just think he is mentally so like the fact that and also there's something to be said about when you have that experience and then you're teaching young guys, it does something to your game. Like if I like when coaches emphasize to their players, especially in high school, like if you're learning and trying to become a better player, go teach like youth kids, like fifth grade, sixth grade kids, and work with them from other football teams in those concepts. It helps you understand the game a lot better. And you see what he's doing with Bubba Hampton. I'm all about that, man.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you got a lot of great stuff at the wide receiver. Skylar says Ryan ain't starting. If it was anybody else but Ryan Williams, I
oh
don't get me
no.
wrong, Skylar. I would be like, you know what? You're right. He's super
Mhm.
talented, but he reclassified. He's got to get right. It's a loaded room, anyways.
I
Ryan
know,
Williams
man.
is different, Skylar. So
Different for
different
sure.
that they genuinely had conversations. Who's the number one player in the nation? Is it Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams? Now, Jeremiah Smith kept it, and you're not going to hear much
Hmm.
argumentation from me because that guy is freaky. Remember, like
Yeah.
yesterday, like a frog with the mustache or like a salamander with the toupee. But Ryan Williams is right there. He has
Yeah.
got different ability. Like, I can't tell you too many times, Jake, I've seen a skill set as complete as Ryan Williams and the understanding you'd
Hmm.
appreciate this as a defensive back. As a
Yeah.
sophomore and junior in high school, he already understands, okay, I can beat you off of straight up route running. I can beat you off of my speed, but there's
Yep.
also subtleties I can do within my route at different stages of my route, like
Hmm.
attacking the back shoulder. And the second I get your head turned around, I'm cutting back inside and you're done. You
Yeah.
reached, I teach, right?
It,
Like,
it's impressive. That's a guy who I think is also really good at studying others. Okay. I think he has really good people overall that help him, from a standpoint of training. I think the coaches at Saraland, like give him a huge shout out. I think the head coach got nominated for the All-Star, right? All-Star coach. So big shout out to him at Saraland. But also, I will say, from his standpoint, there's something to be said that if you can watch somebody who does it really good in front of you, okay, really good in front of you, or does it really good in general around you, and you want to be like them, watch what they do and learn, push yourself to do those things and do them even better. I think that's an advantage if you're a young kid and you're trying to get better and better and better. I mean, I know this is what I did when I played the game. I watched like Sean Taylor, right? I watched a lot of John Lynch. Okay, I was a big Tampa Bay fan, so watched a lot of John Lynch. Who else did I kind of pay attention to? Safety. Watched some of Ronnie Lott. I like the way the guys hit, but then from a standpoint of like a coverage, what was my range when I sat back and actually played like a true safety position, where I got to actually play a zone and not have to come up into the box on a run because guys don't throw very well in these leagues. That's different now, but um, I think in general, right? Like I think for him to be able to learn all that stuff, that's huge. And then I think he'll see the field. I'm not going to take away from that. I just don't think he's going to start. Like in the end of the day, there are too many guys with a lot of experience who are very good, and Ryan is one of the best. But you remember he graduated a year early too. Everybody, like, this is done on purpose. It gives you almost a year to develop to be even better, which is pretty scary. And props to him and the mindset. And DeBoer's already kind of said that with the way he really is digging into the learning aspect of it. That's huge, huge. So his time is coming. It might not be like right immediately, but it's coming, and it's going to come in a very big way. So excited for him. And same thing. I think we see Odom honestly more than we would see him, just from a standpoint of what they'll use him in from an advantage. Okay.
And also, Odom was there for spring, which is huge.
Yep. 100%, 100%. And I saw the question about the DBs, and I'll jump into that real quickly here as we kind of keep.
Well, that's perfect flow, because that's exactly where I wanted to go next.
I love it, man. What did Ty, like? Did you seen any of the film on the DBs? Did you catch any of that?
I did.
You did?
So that drill where they were lined up, and Mo Linguist had them on the pad, and they had to keep their feet. They had to jam right, shift, jam left, shift.
Sorry, guys.
You know who really stood out? I mean, a lot of people look good, but Damani Jackson, his athleticism in that drill, the way his feet were so light, so purposeful with every move, you see the athleticism there. If he gets the consistency down and becomes the player we know he can be, he will have been a fantastic addition out the. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Jake, before I pass it back to you, I understand the high school rankings mean nothing.
Yeah.
But he was a top 5 player in all of high school football. Like, he was one of the top guys. Guy's got a lot of ability. What stood out to you?
I think for me, I'll do Matt Farms real quick. Yeah, dude, I definitely remember the Boz, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Now I don't remember. The thing is I'm like kind of right on that cusp, but like I remember like when he's around, right? Yeah, the dude was legit. I mean, the dude was a hitter. But for me, I studied guys who, funny enough, you want to know what was the one thing I had a problem with when I was young? When I first started the game, I was scared to get hit. Yeah, this is crazy, because that ended up being my MO going to college, was that I could bring the hammer just because of my size and speed, but I was scared to get hit. So one of the things my dad did a good job of was like, he played outside linebacker, and his thing was like, dude, you know what? Go out there and we're going to just put you through and smack you with the pads as you run to get used to it. And thank God, from that standpoint, it finally clicked probably about, I don't know, I think 9th grade. And I finally learned to hit. But I also watched a lot of videos to learn how to do that correctly, and watched guys that I admired do that. So, and getting into those DBs, like you said, I think when you look at these guys, right, and you look at everybody out there, I am very, very impressed with what Mo Linguist, with Coach Hitchler, what they're doing, the way they communicate, the way they coach. I've talked about Mo being a technician with cornerbacks. You want a guy who's going to, like, for Damani Jackson, it's a great example. Damani maybe everyone gave him a hard time for his starting year at USC,
which was coached by an awful defensive coordinator. I'll take the heat. Alex Grinch had one good year at Washington State, went to Ohio State, where he inherited a top 20 defense. They went to the number 80 defense in the nation. The only thing that changed the next year was no more Alex Grinch. They were a top 15 defense. What would you know? Yeah,
I mean, that's a great point, though. I mean, that's a great point. And on top of that, I just don't think the style of defense that was being ran for a freshman to go out there and start, you really need to be locked into those details. And I think that's hard to do with the inexperience they did have, and that they didn't have very much success on defense. And along with, it wasn't just one position. So to put all that blame on Damani, that's not fair at all. Zero. Like, you really need to, you're going to start a freshman, make sure he is in a position for success. Let's not kill them mentally and psychologically, in the sense of he's going to get torn up on the field and then the media is going to tear him up because you are at USC. All right. That's what I love. And I've talked about this with Linguist, is he is a technician. He's going to build you up. He's going to be tough on you. It's each of these coaches. They are the details are very fine line. Do not step outside those fine lines, like walk between the lines. Okay. And Mo is like that. And I think we're going to see that with Damani Jackson. And when he steps on the field, his overall ability and I think you're going to see this huge improvement. Just from the standpoint of he has his confidence, he feels good, but also the understanding of the game is there. And he has a coach that can really help him break it down and help him understand and communicate in the right way. Right. But then we jump into some of these other guys. We see Mbakwe, who has put on some size, looks great out there, really digging into the game. I like to see what he's doing. And then you have, I mean, for me, I've talked about it already, but I saw the video of like Xavier Mincy, Mincy, right? And then Xavier Brown. And with Mincy and Brown, I'll tell you, I think, well, and Coach KD talked about Brown because there was a question asked, and they talked about Xavier Brown. He looked really good. He's further along than what you would expect. And then with Mincy, we saw a clip of him. And the guy's just a big dude. And make sure, hey, everybody, if you are jumping in, please hit those thumbs up for us. We really appreciate it. Me and Ty love bringing you this content here at Bama Football on YouTube. Become a subscriber, a fan funder, and join in. We try to bring it to you every day. We had some really good topics that we continue to go over. And with all the news that continues to come in Alabama, this is the place to get it. So please hit those thumbs up if you can for me. And I'll tell you, with Mincy, if you watched him, the guy's size, he's a big dude. He's going to be a really it'll be surprising to me if he stays at corner his entire career.
He's got so much versatility. And you know what's crazy? Yeah. Originally, I think a lot of teams were looking at him at safety. And the more and more they watched of him, the more and more he camped, the more and more he went to the All-American game. And they were like, hey, go out there at corner. They realized, oh my God, you have all of the ability of a corner. You're just
holy smokes,
huge. But he is a interesting addition. Jake, Coach Sean and I, whenever it was early signing day, right? I remember Bama had just got done signing a fantastic haul of defensive backs. And when Coach Sean and I were breaking it down, but I stopped him and I said, Coach, there's one young man out there that if I could add him into this class, I would add him into this class in a heartbeat. What do you think our chances are with him? It was Xavier Mincy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have been obsessed with his film. One of my favorite players in the last class, right? I always talked about two players that obviously you love Mbakwe. The guy is unbelievable. And you're so right. He's put on good weight rapidly. Like, he looks ready. What you do with his skills is going to be a ton of fun. But I was always intrigued by Mincy and Okoronkwo, the linebacker from Germany.
Yeah, Okoronkwo. Yeah, dude. Like that guy, well, Okoronkwo, like he looks like he's like game ready. And who is 38? I believe that's Elijah May.
It is.
Elijah May. I think Pince Valley, I think it is.
Pinson Valley, yes, sir.
Pinson Valley. Like Elijah May. Yeah, a lot of people brought him up. They really liked what they saw watching him. Man, I'm telling you right now, like I said this last night, I believe, is we are going to see guys that we have not seen before or maybe not heard a lot about from the media and everything else from that gets highlighted just because there is so much to talk about. But we are going to see guys come out that those names might not be as familiar, and everyone's going to be like, who is that? I promise you it is coming. I promise you that there are people there, guys in that locker room who maybe have been put off to the side for a minute or have been buying their time secretly in the shadows, and they are going to blow up, especially with the conceptual aspects of the defense. In a way, for those who have been there already, the transition is not that bad. Okay. For those who haven't been there, the transition is easier just from a standpoint that you have your job. Do your job. It's like the special forces. Do your job. Everybody has their singular job to work as the unit. Everybody do your job to the best of your ability. Trust that the guys next to you will do theirs. So as long as they are doing their job, right, and the fact that you have one job and it makes it a bit more simple, I think we're going to, especially on the defensive side, I think we're going to see guys like just come out of be what they truly were supposed to be from their potential wise coming out of recruiting. So I think I have to give credit also, obviously with Red Morgan. Okay. Red is a guy that Coach KD seems to bring up a lot. I think they love he's twitchy too. But I think what I like with Red is he's like ready to go. Tasmanian Devil, when you unleash him, that's what I see with like Red, like his play style. Like, I mean, the way he comes downhill, like he commits and he commits. It's like merging onto a highway at like 105 miles per hour, maybe 115. If you haven't done 115, I'll tell you right now, I have. It's really fast. Okay. Merging. All right. Or even 125. But that's how I see Red when he comes into the lane. He merges into traffic with aggression. Okay. And he does it in a way that a missile. Like I say, the DB group, I know every coach and whatnot comes up with their names. I call it Top Gun School. Okay. You're going into Top Gun School and you're becoming fighter pilots, because in the end of the day, you are going to be fast, you're going to be accurate, and you're going to be able to take these guys out with precision based on your skill set. Right. Yeah. I mean, honey, like that's what I'm saying. That's the thought process I get.
It's
but I
funny
also
because
want to
DeAndre Washington said it, and then Al Sanders said it immediately after.
Oh, really?
I mean, like they had to have been typing it at the
man.
exact same time. That's funny.
Gosh, it's like, man, and who from Saban, who is the big identifier? Who is the guy who's good at identifying talent? Because that's what it's about. I mean, DeBoer talks about that in the interview. Is like, we were behind in the recruiting process. Now we're in this position where we caught up a little bit. But he has a big part of it. Why it took a second is because we had to identify talent. We had to identify who fit for us. Right? He doesn't say fit for us specifically, but I mean that's what he means by what he's saying. So,
and he has to understand what he has on roster to understand what to recruit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. I think if we pop back in, I also like Peyton Woodyard. I don't think you're hearing a lot about Peyton, just from the standpoint that there is so much to highlight in practice. But I think Peyton is out there. I think he's doing the work. We saw him on spring break. I mean, his dad posted some cool stuff of him doing that work.
Problem for opposing offenses.
He's going to be really good. He is already good, but he's going to be really good. I mean, and then I think one other guy I'm interested to hear, and I didn't talk much about him yet. So there's two dudes or three really, but yeah, Bray Hubbard. Like, what's going on with Bray? I want to know, because this guy comes out of high school more. He transitions into more of that safety role, right? Because he's focused, I think, I'm pretty sure, as a quarterback in high school. And then Dre Kirkpatrick, who we have heard has had a great couple of days so far. And then Jaleel Hurley, who everyone is saying like he's ready to be that guy. So, I mean, that's just some of them. There's so many to highlight out of that group, you know what I'm saying? But I feel good about that DB room. I'm excited for it. And, again, if you like what we're saying, please run those thumbs up as you jump in. Would very much appreciate it.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That if we get to 250 likes, listen, I know I'm not going over to Sweden to get him, but I heard a rumor that if we hit 250 likes, the Swedes will release Blaze.
Yeah,
All's in your court.
Save him.
All I'm gonna say.
Save him. Save Blaze. No problem, Al. Yeah. I mean, so I could talk on the DB room all day, right? Like for me, I love defensive back. I mean, I love safety. I love that. For me, that's like I have a strong passion for safeties, defensive backs. I mean, I do. And then the other aspect for me is those DNs. And we could talk about like what you've seen. I mean, on Keeley, what have you seen, Ty? Like what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's one of those things, like I said earlier, I'm not expecting for Keeley to go from learning a new position to being the number one in the nation in that position within a week. What I needed to see was, hey, are you digesting the information that's being asked of you? And when you just look at how he was doing the sled drill a week or so ago, where Roach was like, hey, no, we got to approach it like this because you just changed positions. Broke it
down step by step.
And then you look at him yesterday where they weren't coming up to like that. To me, I know people might be rolling their eyes and saying, oh, but that's so small. The small details build dynasties. And that's the truth.
Yep. I mean, Coach Sean says it best. It's all about the details, right? Like, I mean, it is. It's like, I mean, straight facts. Like that's what you got to get through. Thanks, Moon Rocka. Love it, man. But yeah, I mean, we saw it yesterday. I think you saw it in the video too. Like Coach, like Roach was screaming at Keeley because they were doing the drill, and that drill is very specific to extend through your body to generate maximum power. If you have you seen the drill, it's basically you start in your stance, 3-point stance, right? You're down. Your head has to stay at a certain level because it has to go 45 degrees upwards, right? And as they go through, the explosion is that you're locking out your body, pushing your hips through, and then your toes are coming up, or you're going from your heels flat-footed up into your toes. Okay, and you're in a full lockout, like a solid plank, a 45-degree angle plank. And the idea is that's meant to generate that power as you push, because you're going power on power in a short amount of space. Well, your hips are the key in that aspect of generating the most power. So they're really trying to get him to understand this concept of, all right, keep your head up from this position. It's different than what you've done before, because now you are down in the stance, right? And you're having to be a little more flexible with dropping your hips. And that's what I think for Keon, where it's going to be. I think Keon's going to put the size on, but I wouldn't even say so much he needs size as he just needs to work that flexibility. Because as soon as he gets a little more flexible, like with his upper body, getting his shoulders back a little bit, working his hips a little bit more, and I'm sure they're doing that for him, I think he'll feel more comfortable, and then you're going to see him. He's going to get over this little hump. But man, Roach was, you could hear it on the video. He's ripping him. He's ripping him. But then what's cool is like he realized that Keon was trying, and he just could not get. He was having these little minor things off, and he slowed down and said, okay, he's not hearing me right now, right? So hey, he's like, Keon, just put your head up. Keep your head up, Keon. And he calmed it down to get through to him in a different way. It's like somebody in a really good argument, right? You could scream, people start shutting you out. Well, now you have to change levels, right? And realize that your message isn't being sent, especially with kids. That's a good example right there.
Antoine has a question right here. He says, what's up with Tony Mitchell? Also, if y'all have a report. From what I understand, he's out there competing. Jake, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I mean, I know there's some injuries. I'm trying to take a peek to see if there was anything said, because the board does not like to discuss injuries at all, period. He will give you no matter where, when, what, unless things are done. From this standpoint, like he will always keep it very broad, even through the season. It's going to be extremely broad, and he just does not give details on that stuff. And I don't blame him. I think it probably has a lot to do with HIPAA as well. But no, I haven't heard anything around injury wise. I just think, man, like sometimes some guys will get a lot of coverage because that's where you're at in practice, or maybe that's where the positions are at for media, and some guys don't. So, and people have, unless you direct your question about him, maybe there's only a few number of guys that are going to stick in your coach's head. And if you're sticking in your coach's head for the interview, hence like why Red Morgan right now, I think is somebody we all need to pay attention to going into these scrimmages, is that's a really good thing. It means you're kicking ass, or it's a really bad thing. It means you're really screwing up. You know what I'm saying? So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy,
Well, speaking of being that guy, we've talked about some practice. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, in the undefeated, hit those likes. That way we can get Blaze out of the cusp of the Swedes' grasps. He just said he didn't like Surströmming. Now, listen, I know Blaze is a contentious individual, but Surströmming is terrible. But we need to talk about recruiting. If you guys want us to go back, talk about anything in practice, by all means, drop the questions down there. We need to talk about recruiting because yesterday, Alabama got yet another win that now has them at the number 8 team in the nation per 24/7 Sports Composite in terms of recruiting with 7. We have to understand. I said this yesterday, Jake. Notre Dame's at number 1 with 18 commits.
18.
It's triple, basically, the size of this class. Alabama, for where they sit, for having 7 guys, and you look at the average recruit rank, they're one of the best recruiting classes in the nation, and they're just getting started. Abdul Sanders yesterday. Now, if we're talking Abdul Sanders, Jake, love to get your thoughts on this, because the first thing that I saw when I was watching his film. Let me go to my notes on him because
Oh, please do. Please do.
there we go.
We can. I'm gonna break him down too. I watched some film on him as well, and there's a lot of things I like about him. And just the fact of where he comes from with a winning tradition. But what do you have so far
So
on him?
one of the things, and sometimes I talk about things and they might seem very minute. They might seem pointless, but I promise you they're not. The
Mhm.
first thing I noticed is that he is concerned with his job. Ladies and gentlemen, football is a game where there are 11 moving parts. And if one person tries to start playing hero ball and gets out of position, that can be
Mhm.
where you get hit over the head for a touchdown. It's that
Oh yeah.
simple. This is someone who every single time that ball is snapped, his first thing is, I'm going to do my job to the very best of my ability. That way
Mhm.
I allow all 11 or all 10 individuals outside of me to do their jobs.
That's right.
First two things on his huddle film are him dropping into coverage and understanding where his zone is. First two plays are 2 interceptions. Now, I
Yep.
love at the high school level when I see a linebacker dropping in coverage because we know in
Mhm.
the college game that will happen. Love that.
Yes.
Love his understanding of what his job is. That's high discipline. He's
Yep.
not going to be baited out of position as easily as others because he knows that's what you're going to do. I'm not going to take the bait.
Yeah.
That it might seem small, but I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that is a really awesome thing to see. Someone who's like, no, I'm going to dominate my job.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. I love his film. I think he
Yep.
has got a lot of upside. Super excited to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I think with Abdul, I mean, like, there's so much I could go into with him too, because I've looked at a lot of his stuff. And then there was a comment real quick. Louis O'Blevin's music. How are the freshman cornerbacks doing? Heard Xavier Brown and Zay Mincy at cornerback. So we literally kind of just covered that just within the last like 5 minutes. Just missed it if you were not in here. So I know we're jumping on something out, and then DeAndre Washington, I saved a comment. I'll get to your question. I think that's a good question. If we'll be done recruiting linebackers if we get another commit. With Abdul Sanders, number one, like, congratulations to him. This is a huge thing. I mean, this is considered, Bama is the standard, right? You earn that scholarship. That's huge. I think, again, it's even higher when you make that commitment to go be your best every single day, whether it's football or school or in life. When you commit to Alabama, you are committing to being your best, and you have to give those kids a round of applause who realize that it's the dream, but the standard is there, and not a lot of people want to sit there and commit to giving their best all the time. Sometimes they want to only maybe give 80% or 90% or 95. But these kids who come in here and do commit, it's clear that they realize, that this culture is about, being the best human you can be, loving each other, but also giving your best 100% of the time in everything you do. Okay. With Abdul, he comes from modern day high school. That is a powerhouse high school at a Trinity League, California. That, now, for those who don't know, on the West Coast, that California ball, a lot of people want to give, because it's Pac-12 country, or used to be Pac-10 country, what used to be the Pac. But I'll tell you this: that California ball is legit, especially
That
in the
Trinity
Trinity
League is
League.
ridiculous.
They can compete with anybody in the nation.
Modern
Anybody.
Day came down to Duncanville a few years ago, and I
Okay.
think they put up like 60 on them.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
beasts.
here's the oh,
Oh,
we'll be
it's coming
back
back
today.
now. We're coming back, dude.
We're good. We're good.
But man, he's good. The one thing probably with him too, and it's interesting, is that with him, he is, he is very much one of those guys who is very strong. He has a powerful lower body. When he hits, he follows through. His fundamentals are really good. He gets a lot of praise for, as you just said, Ty, for coverage out of the backfield. He's a good cover linebacker. I think overall, what position do we see him at potentially? I mean, he's 6'2". I would say he's closer probably to 215, 220. Does he play like a Mike? That's where I can maybe see him at. I could see him also even transitioning if he continues to put that size on, is he 6'2" or 6'3"? We never know, or whatnot. But if he continues to put that size on, could he transition even into a bandit? I don't think I would use him at a sting, just because if you look at his type and his style of play and his body movement, right, his style of movement, he seems to me more traditional Mike. But overall, this kid's a stud athlete. I love that he made his decision very quickly. Okay, like he knew what he wanted. He saw what he needed to see, and he was done. We'll see what his teammates do. Like I'm excited for Marcus Harris. I think he's a big one that I would love to see. 5-star wide receiver, also out of Mater Dei. Marcus, I think, was just here, I believe.
Yeah, he just I think he's on his or he's taking his visit right now.
No, I think he was just here
Was he just
for
here?
a short visit, and then he's over. I don't know if he's looking at Ole Miss or LSU or one of those schools or something. I don't know. And then you got the running back Jordan, and I forgot his last name. The running back from Mater Dei, but he's another. Yeah, and he's another good one. I'm going to tell you right now, the running back group, like that is if you're a recruit and you're getting the offers, I would hurry up and figure out your plan.
Yes,
because
quick.
This group is going to fill up really fast, and once they get, they get maybe one. Well, I would say maybe two.
Do you think
more
they
at the
take
most.
3 running backs in the class? Because you already got Turbo Rogers.
I know, but with the talent of this group, it'd be hard not to. It'd be hard not to, just because you don't want to miss out on those years. So if you're a running back, like I feel good about Ackland Deer. We'll see what happens. Coach Smook's going to be the one to watch when it comes to that stuff. As we know, he called it yesterday with Abdul Sanders. Straight up said he's keep your eyes on him. I think he's going to commit and call it before anybody else. So, which is impressive. And then from there, right, somebody brought up how many more linebackers do we get, right? If we go and grab, if Luke Metz comes, which I would love to see. Luke is great. He's also one who is versatile. He could play a sting. He could play a Mike. He could play a wolf, like, from a standpoint, because that still is considered, even though it's on or off the line, it's considered a linebacker. It's an edge, but it's a linebacker. But so there's a lot of things there. How many more do we get after that? It depends. I mean, you look at this class and who's all interested. That's another position that if we get an additional commit, right? I mean, shoot, because you got to look too. Yeah, I mean, you do. And I think I would say there's maybe only 3 guys left who they would even, consider at that spot. Yeah, the depth needs to be there too. But, like you have Dawson Merritt, he's stud, absolute stud. If you have not watched Dawson's highlight tape, you should. He's out of Stillwell, Kansas. You have Ty Jackson. Ty Jackson's a stud. And then, but you got Tyler Lockhart, right? And Mississippi is loaded with talent. I'll tell you what, loaded. He's a Mississippi dude, Tyler Lockhart. And I know if you didn't see the video, that's when Walmack, that's who he's hitting up, is Tyler Lockhart, right? And so that's from the I guess that linebacker group, and that's going to be an interesting group. And I just think they do really want to get solid in guys in there. And it's interesting because they're going after guys who, after their senior year, because you're right, this is real early on in the recruiting process. They're going after guys who I feel like they could probably develop very quickly and get some serious playing time as true freshmen. If you like, that's what I see when I'm looking at these linebackers. So,
and Randall Green says KD sounded like he thought we were thin on the O-line. Well, I do have some good news on the offensive line front, right? Nothing concrete, but I said this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
There's another content creator out there who is one of those guys where, like, the recruits are always coming on his channel for the team he covers, the recruits that commit there. He has been able to build phenomenal relationships. He knows what's going on in the build. Like, he's done a great job. Well, he texted me the other day. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't cover Alabama. He covers another team, but he texted me the other day and he said, hey, Bama is still doing Bama things on the trail without Saban. He added, he's like, I'm going to need DeBoer to not be super successful. He's like, because I'm kind of worried about what happens if y'all take this into a successful season. He's like, it's kind of wild in the background. He's
Mhm.
covering a team that's not Bama. And he's
Oh,
like,
100.
I'm hearing from
Yep.
these kids that were really liking our school. All of a sudden, they're kind of like, oh, well, let's go check that out. And he
Mhm.
said on the offensive line specifically, he said,
Yeah.
y'all are really starting to move the needle on a lot of big name offensive line prospects. So good news coming there. Hopefully it manifests into some commitments.
I mean, I think so. I think you have, I think, Patriot Life. What's up, man? Always giving that love, Patriot Life. 100% appreciate you gifting the memberships out, man. Every day. That's good for you, man. That's the way to roll too. And then somebody asked about the tight end from Kansas. That's Lincoln Kerr, right? Or Cure, LC. I'll tell you what. Go watch Lincoln Kerr play some basketball. Go watch LC play basketball. That dude can, you want to give you like a little bigger, he gives me like Caleb Odom vibes with the way he is in so control of his body and so athletic, but with just a little bit bigger. I mean, he's big. He's a big dude. And he's one of those guys I would love. He's probably, from a tight end standpoint, that's a dude I want in this class. I want that athletic beast of a tight end who can line up. And you know what? Beautifully enough, KD said it yesterday. Again, it's like, I like it when the coaches interview and get a chance to talk, especially with KD, because if you guys don't tune in, or if you do pay attention to some of the things that I say, it runs hand in hand with what he confirms in these interviews. And I try my best to match that, because I want you guys to know that, and obviously give you the correct info. So it just shows that I'm telling you the truth. But he says it yesterday with the tight ends, and I had just said recently, like, hey, one group you should pay attention to that does not get enough credit right now is this tight end group, because of the style that they play, but also from a standpoint of, and Coach Sean, I think, brought it up a little bit last night when we were sitting in. Did you see that last night, Ty, when
No,
we
I
all
didn't get a
jumped in
chance.
together? Yeah, man.
Another
Yeah,
5
dude.
gifted subs. Patriot Life with
Woo,
10 gifted
woo.
subs on the
Yeah.
day. My goodness gracious.
Hmm.
And it's so cool. We saw this the other day. You have someone like D Bama Swag, who we're literally seeing getting
Yeah.
that membership in real time.
Super cool,
Patriot
man.
Life, my man. Thank you for everything. Truly.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
only the memberships gifted, we appreciate that more than you know. But, and I always say this, I don't mean to beat you to dead horse, but it's true.
Hmm.
Your time is so valuable, and
Yep.
you spend your time here with us, not only watching, listening, but contributing.
Yeah.
And that to me means more than I could really eloquate to you. So thank you very much for all of the support.
Oh, for sure. Like, we love that. And thank you guys. And if you haven't already, please run those thumbs up. Run those thumbs up.
Yeah, we want
But
Blaze back home.
yeah. But I'm telling you guys right now, with Lincoln Kerr, he fits that mold of what KD wants in this offense. And like how, he talks about in the interview, controlling the middle. Like, why do they use a tight end? Is to control the middle, because if you have to think about that when you have a weapon, right? Or when these bunch sets. Coach Sean talked about these bunch sets last night that they run these motion and movement out of, and then
Tennessee.
and then they do this the pin technique from a blocking standpoint on the backside and run the ball, like these unique kind of gifted, or sorry, I saw gifted. I read gifted by Jay Townsend. Thank you, sir. And that's what I meant. But these unique techniques and plays that allow, like, it's just kind of trickery of the mind, because the eyes are seeing one thing and seeing all this movement, but yet we're going in this direction. Still yet misdirection. You could say smoke and mirrors, but that's why I like Lincoln Kerr. And I do. He's big on Bama. We've seen it in his interviews. I'm excited to see which way he goes. I feel good about that. But then you talk about the offensive line group, Ty. There are some dudes that we're looking at that I think, and Coach Smook has some really good info on that. I'll be excited to hear what he has to say. I know we were going to talk about, me and him are on later tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys tune in. But we're going to talk about a lot of that tonight with the recruiting aspect of some of these linemen, but also some of these other key guys, and who maybe we could see next from from a commitment standpoint. So
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
excited.
talking
We're gonna have a good
next,
night.
Dijon
Mhm.
Lee. I
Dude,
mean,
I'm a big Dijon Lee fan. So Dijon Lee is Mission Viejo, out of California, cornerback, stud. He's rangy, fast. Really, his technique is really really good. He should be on campus today, along with Hilton Stubbs. Look him up out of Jacksonville, Florida. I like Hilton Stubbs. He's a safety. I mean, he looked good to me. So we get there's that. And then you look at like kind of the visit list over the course. I mean, you just got a lot of dudes here this weekend. So because I think everybody wants to see that scrimmage. I think that's Saturday. So tomorrow,
FOMO.
um, everybody wants to see him actually hit, and tomorrow we'll get a chance to finally see that little pad action, right? Nothing. It's not going to be too crazy, but it's going to be fun to see some things and how these guys are getting picked up on, right? You know, who are you talking about?
Dijon Lee, and when he
He's
was
not he's
standing
not
out
modern day. He's
from
from Shane.
no,
He's
yeah,
from
from Mission
Mission
Viejo,
Viejo. Yeah.
but when he was
Mhm.
standing next to Courtney Morgan, that's why at first I was like, "Is that Dijon Lee?" Because
Yeah.
he is huge. At first, I was like,
Dijon Lee. Yeah.
is that him?" And then, yeah, I mean, you look at his face, and I was like, "No, that's definitely him." But he's a big dude. And Jay
Yeah.
coming back in here with 5 more gifted Bama football on YouTube with
Thanks,
Kyle
man.
Henderson memberships. You notice I
100%,
got it
dude.
right this time. You notice?
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice,
Hmm.
it's dyslexia. Blame that. But neither here nor there. Thank you so much for the support, Jay. You guys are
Yep.
awesome. You guys are
Yep.
just awesome with the support, everything you do. And if you
Mhm.
guys have been gifted a membership by either Patriot Life or by Jay Townsend, be sure to thank them because they have now had you guys added to the undefeated family. So
Dude, love that,
awesome to have
man.
you here.
Love that. Love that. And then Ty, this is interesting. And did you get a chance to listen to Ryan Fowler at all with the interview yesterday? With this was a different interview, but with on Tide 100.9, right?
I have not gotten to listen to that. I've been listening to Patriot Life continuously, hamming down the gifted subs.
100%.
5 more gifted subs from Patriot Life. I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point, Patriot Life. Thank you so much, man. This
Just keep
is
gifting, dog. We appreciate that,
humbling.
man. That's huge. It is humbling. And with that being said, then I'll give you the scoop of the Ryan Fowler, just from a standpoint a little
Beautiful.
bit. You guys should go back and listen to what KD said with Ryan Fowler. He does an amazing job. Obviously, all you guys know who he is.
Yeah, he does.
He is a stud, right? 100.9 Tide, right? So here's what we're looking at with KD. What was interesting in Raise the Bar. You brought this up, and I'll highlight this real quick. Do you need an adopted? Her coach KD said he really appreciates using media since all these kids now are on social media outlets. 100%. He talks about this, and Ryan Fowler actually talks about this. He goes, I was not the one who went to KD and said, come on my show all the time. He goes, KD actually came to me and said, I want to be on as much as possible. How does that sound? Sometimes he's on like twice a day. And then he also wants his assistants to come on. So very different style than what previously was the case with Saban. Okay. And I'll tell you, I think he is spot on in the sense he wants everyone to know who they really are, right? As people, what their beliefs are, what the vision is, and what is the continued path to achieving this mindset for a very, very, very long time and making sure that they reach maximum success. I love that aspect. That media stuff is a big deal to me. I think it's really cool. I think it does give the players a chance, especially in today's world, right? I've talked about that a little bit. I mean, what's your take on that, Ty?
Well, listen, if we're talking about maximizing success, I don't know if
Mhm.
there's a better place to start than Jay
Oh
Townsend
gosh,
gifting 5 Bama football on
holy
YouTube to
smokes!
Kyle Henderson memberships. Guys, once again, the dyslexia got me there, but hopefully I said it quick enough to where nobody caught that. But
Mm,
I think
mm.
we're at like 40
I love
gifted
that.
memberships right now. You guys are absolutely killing it right now. Jay, my man, thank you very much for all of the support,
100.
guys. always, as always.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, Ricky Smith needs one. Brittany B needs one. Cedric Kirk, you need one. What's up, people? I see you guys in here. It's nice to see y'all. Deborah Rothschild, good to see you. Got a lot of people jumping in. 100. Run those thumbs up as you jump in. Really appreciate you guys. I don't know if you want to run the commercial real quick or if you want to do it at the end. We got about 40 minutes left. It's up to you, Ty.
I couldn't find it.
Oh, just kidding. Okay. Maybe it's gone.
But who needs commercials when you have Patriot Life dropping another
That's right.
gifted 10 Bama football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson memberships? I mean, what are we at, 50 now? I'm not a math guy.
No, I'm not either.
And I'm not a math guy. You asked me 2 plus 2. You're liable to get 44, right? Like,
yep.
Who knows what happens? But
yeah,
right now, my brain is telling me we're at something like 50 gifted memberships.
That's awesome, man. Like, wow. Like that.
45.
Yep. That's cool. Thanks, Jared.
I pat myself on the back. That's,
wow.
I'm a lot closer.
Dude, we appreciate it. I think it's cool to see that everybody gets a chance to get in here, and you can see that, this is a great group to be a part of. I'll speak to a little bit about yesterday real quick. Yesterday there was a comments made. Some people got a little angry about Caden Proctor stuff. I think going forward, like the coolest part we can do for one another, and we can take the example by something that I heard yesterday on Ryan Fowler's show by a young lady who called in, who had a very good example that she said, Alabama football is the standard, and we as fans have to hold that standard in the way we treat people too. She said, if you go to games and other fans are going to act like assholes. Like a good example, at least that I've always seen, was Oregon fans. I'm not a big Oregon and me, we don't mesh at all, right? I'm not a big Oregon guy. I despise Oregon. So, but I'll tell you right now, is from this standpoint, right, is as fans, you want to keep that same standard, because the expectation is of this program, of the school, of everybody who represents Alabama football. And I think the same thing goes when we come in here with Bama football on YouTube, right? Like, is that we just always want to give each other respectfully disagree if you don't agree with something, right? There's no need to get too crazy. And yeah, disagreement's good.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Disagreement is such a driving force to change.
Right.
If done well, disagreement is such a driving force to successful discourse, right? Like to actual. The word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is purpose. Think about everything we've talked about today. Kalen DeBoer is moving on the recruiting trail with purpose. We started off talking about how Ryan Day spoke without purpose. Jalen Milroe spoke with purpose, how those two conversations were totally different. We talked about Keon Keeley. Understand, now he's moving with purpose. We talked about the defensive back. Damani Jackson has now found a defensive room that gives purpose. The word of the day is purpose. And I'll tell you what, you guys are doing this on purpose. Dwight gifted 5 Bama football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson memberships. Now we are at 50. So I was just, Jared, what happened was I'm a seer. Right. And what it was is I'm already bad at math, and I was getting the messages that we were going to hit 50. And so I just got a little ahead of myself.
All good.
That's on me. Good. But that's what that was.
That's cool, man. I love that though. I love it.
But no, disagreement is great. Just do so respectfully, and it's awesome.
And that's the point, right? Is like we get to come on here, we get to give our opinions, what we know, and use some of our expertise along with what you guys have in the chat, because there's a lot of people in here. We got 268. Please, again, I keep saying this, but I say it just because people forget as you're digging in. Just hit that thumbs up for us, please.
And I'm the worst.
We're not trying to be annoying, but it does help out a lot. So please hit those thumbs up if you like what we're bringing you. In the end of the day,
I jump in right there, Jake?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is something that I didn't even realize. But the YouTube algorithm, I'm gonna peel back the onion right now for you.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
I like this. Is one interaction. A comment is another interaction. A subscription is an interaction, but a like is an interaction. The way YouTube recommends content is how many interactions is it gained. Now, here's something people think. That, okay, if I'm just giving the view, that's an interaction. YouTube is going to recommend content that has compounding interactions, right? So if you have one viewer who views, comments, and hits the like, That's 3 interactions off one viewer. If a bunch of people do that,
Interesting.
that's the content that YouTube is going to put out
Mhm.
there. And really,
Yeah.
it's not even just like, oh, well, any sort of interactions, whether it's likes or even dislikes. Now, don't dislike this, right? We need to get Blaze out because I'm not going over there to get him again. I am tired of fighting his battles, right?
That's
We need to
right,
get
man.
Blaze out. But
Yep.
that right there, that's why we always say it. And if you're on my channel, you hear me say likes and comments, they seem small, but
Yeah.
they are massive for the
It's the only
YouTube
reason.
algorithm.
Yep.
Massive. So hit that like button. We don't mean to hit it, but that is genuinely, guys. Jake and I are up here and we want to make sure this grows. We want more people
Mhm.
in the undefeated. We want more interaction. We want more conversations like this because
That's
you
right.
guys make the show. And so
That's
those
right.
likes, they mean the world. I didn't mean to go off on a
100%.
tangent, but I did want to
No,
kind
that
of
was
peel
great.
back the
And that's the truth, man. On the end of the day, that's why we ask. It's just it helps us do what we're doing and allows us to do it at a higher capacity and a better focus for you guys. So, does it let us actually dedicate our time to it? That's a big part, right? So, but who's next to commit? I think man, I think there's so many different guys right now that we could look at, and I think as we get closer or maybe through this weekend, I would just keep eyes open. There could be a couple. We'll see. I think we really what I really want to focus on too. With that being said, is like make sure you catch Coach Smook on this because he has some really good insight with
oh god.
these recruits and going through the process, and has some. Honestly, in the end of the day, he's well connected. Like in the end of the day, and I don't blame him. He's great with his relationships, and he appreciates people, and he's just real. He is who he is. So catch him, and you can catch both of me and Coach Smook tonight. Like I said, 8 p.m. Central Time. So, but with that, I guess subject alone, we look at, from an overall standpoint of how do we feel going into this potential like transfer portal timeframe, right? What do you think, Ty?
I'm sorry, ask that again. I was busy
No,
reading
you're
chat
good.
and I
No, I saw that. Well, I see the Juju Lewis commit or comment by Deborah. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks for asking. There will be recruits here tomorrow, Ricky. Yes, there are. There's a bunch. There's a lot. There's a lot of recruits here right now. You got your mystery cup? Yeah, I do, Randall. Yes, I do, my dog.
ask me
But
that
I'll
again
tell
because
you.
I'd love to answer that.
Yeah, go ahead. You get it.
No, hit me with that question again because I was in my own little world reading chat.
Yeah. So so I was asking. So on my end, what my question was from the standpoint of a transfer portal, like coming up. Everyone is really pushing like this narrative that there's going to be a lot of not necessarily with Alabama, but with just overall the transfer portal. Like a lot of people are saying, like, be ready. It's about to be crazy. I don't
It
know if
is.
you got anything on that. I mean, we've already obviously Ken Proctor news alone was a lot. So what's next?
No, and listen, I've been very fortunate, right? Like, and I know a
Hmm.
lot of Bama fans gave him a hard time. And I will say this, guys, Hayes Fawcett, he is a great dude. I know Bama
Yeah.
fans gave him a hard time. He is just out there to do his job and connect with the recruits. He's a great guy. The reason why I say that, that's someone who has came in to my channel so many times and has begged people like, hey, support Ty, do
Hmm.
this. So I've had conversations with him. And though, I never ask, I never pry because he, like Smook, has built fantastic relationships. And a lot of that is built on trust. So if they want to tell me something, cool. That's beautiful. If you want to tell me,
Yep.
tell me. But I'm not going to pry because I don't want to compromise your relationships that you have worked so hard to foster, right? Because
Hmm.
what if I'm on here and I accidentally say something, not realize? So that's why I like being the fanalist because I
Yeah,
want
man.
people like Smook. Smook is the one with those relationships. If he
Oh,
wants to
and they're
tell me
great
some
too.
inside stuff, that's all well and good. But I don't want to pry into like his conversations because he's built that trust and
Hmm.
trust is so big. I don't want to do anything that could compromise that. What I will say, I'm getting a feeling from my conversations with people in the industry that they're expecting some wild stuff to happen in the transfer portal. Wild. And spring is interesting because you have an understanding of your team's needs that you don't have before the spring. Now, I don't know if it's going to hit Alabama. I don't know any of that. But I do know you listened to like Josh Pate.
Yeah.
When he said the Caden Proctor's thing, he was like, oh, that's not even in the top 3 craziest transfer portal things like that I'm hearing. So be ready.
Man.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But someone made a comment, SEC players can't go to SEC schools when the portal opens.
I can't talk about that because I will go off on a tangent and
Yeah.
rant. It is so inconsequentially stupid. And I get it because you're trying to put provisions on the transfer portal. But how in the world can you allow teams to poach Alabama when their coach leaves? And that's all well and good, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Do I like it? No, but that's a reality. It happened to LSU. It happened to all these. But if that's the case, wouldn't it make the most sense that then in the spring portal, Bama can punch back? Why are we now handcuffing a team that lost its coach and saying, oh, well, you can't hit back? They rated your roster, but you can't punch back. It's so – that rule is so dumb. I'm sorry.
It is dumb.
I hate that rule.
Man, I'm going to be honest. I just am ready for like, okay, let's get this transfer portal period like over, right? Let's get it done. And then let's move on and cut this down to one single time frame and not make it so long, make it short, get it done, make it all in the same time frame, right? Like I'm tired of I don't know. It's so hard to pick like when would the best time be, but it's the same thing with like the recruiting thing where you're like signing one signing period. KD talked about that in one of the interviews. It's like, from the SEC standpoint, I think everybody's on board that we just would like one recruiting signing period, and that's that December period, and be done. Like no more February. They just want to get it done December.
And if we're being honest, the vast majority of commitments, I'll put it like this: the February signing day, Jake, for you and me growing up, that was, dare I say, religion.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's crazy. Right? Yeah,
everybody was there for the February signing day. People were on the edge of their seat. That's all happening in December now. I mean, you get to the regular signing day and it's like, oh, you might get a commitment. But the vast majority of work is being done in December. Now, the one thing I will say, we need to figure out a situation where the transfer portal windows don't necessarily directly coincide with the recruiting, because the recruiting period hit. And then the transfer portal, and like, how do you manage all this? It's
so hard. I mean, because you got to think of these guys have other lives too. Like these coaches have other lives. They have families, like Colin Hitchler just had a son, like literally within the last couple of weeks. And congrats to him. I know we said it already, but they have other lives. They need to be dads still. They need to be husbands still. Like, so, I know there's a lot of money involved, so no one gives a shit anymore when there's money involved. That sucks. I think we need to get rid of that dumbass mindset, right? Like from a nationwide standpoint, like we need to stick to like character, morals, values, integrity, have things that solidify us again. And college football is a great example of a place that we can use as a platform to make sure that's done. So let's do it the right way and do it in a way that, can make sure that we put things in place to help kids be successful, that we have a transfer portal that allows the coaches and the players at that time frame to have some focus and during that time frame focus on doing that right there and then move to the next, not all in one giant, just consistent tornado of shit all the time, right? Like that's what it feels like. It's insane.
There's a reason why some of these coaches, and listen, they've always looked at the NFL and been like, well, that's the highest level. But there's a reason I think now you have more coaches being like, boy, howdy, if I could get to the NFL, I could go to Cabo. Like I could be in Cabo, kicking up, chilling, and then have like vacation. You don't get that in college like you used to anymore. So there needs to be an actual governing body over the NCAA.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I think
Shit,
that there's something going on with Nick Saban, man. Shit, NATO. That's right, man. They're not
I don't know if y'all have
Sharknado.
ever
Shit,
seen
NATO.
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, dude.
Shitbirds, Mr. Leahy. Shitbirds.
That's funny, man. Oh God, I like Trailer Park Boys. Makes me cracks me up. But someone they keep asking about Juju, right?
Yes, let's talk
Fluids,
about
right?
Juju.
So for those, if I'm correct, that's Caleb Odom's teammate or was his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's been just a lot of speculation right now from the standpoint of his interest and how much he is on campus. I think I think he knows maybe this is a system he can thrive in. I think a lot of these guys like at that level, right, who are in a position such as his, they can take the time to make a decision. There's other guys who necessarily cannot take the time unless you just truly are maybe one of those top 10 guys in the nation who are studs. Because, like I said, that running back room, once it's filled up, you're not booting anybody out of the room to take another guy. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like the wide receiver room, that's going to be another one. It's going to be really interesting because there are a ton of wide receivers who are interested, a ton. Like these guys have to get to their points of decision making. Like because unless there's one or two that stand out, so this class is loaded, full of talent. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of talent all over the nation, and a lot of talent they're looking at in that receiver room. Well, it helps. Our receiver room is also pretty young. Okay, you're not going to have a ton of people leaving. So from a recruiting standpoint, like this is awesome. I love this. You guys definitely dig into this, right? But from a standpoint of like once we get those guys, it's kind of like okay, we're good at recruiting there. Our recruiting is kind of done from there. Like I said, unless there's one or two dudes who are extremely special, which is pretty rare to be honest. There's maybe only a handful of them in each class. You and me kind of talked about this yesterday with how many 5 stars do you think we'll actually see out of this class? And probably a higher number. I would like to see like 40
Yeah,
and cut it at 40.
This is one where you could. Now we have some questions.
Mm.
Deborah says, I worry about the evaluation of talent of the new recruits with this new staff. Should I be? Great recruits, your thoughts. And Todd asks, why worry? We're recruiting highly rated kids. So Todd, answering why worry. I don't worry. And Deborah, I'm going to answer Todd and Deborah at the same time. I wouldn't worry, Deborah. Now, Todd, I can understand why someone may have this position because you're coming from the GOAT who literally was hitting at a rate that was lapping college football in terms of his ability to see a recruit and say, yeah, that kid's going to do great. Remember, I said yesterday, the average 5-star in all of college football has like a 24% chance of being drafted in the first round. In Alabama, it was like at 56%. And if you took Alabama out of the equation, it dropped down to sub 20%. Like their ability to hit and diagnose successful talent was unbelievable. That being said, Deborah, this new staff, I think, is doing a phenomenal job at understanding. One, you retain Roach, huge. He's a top 10 recruiter in the nation. 2, you retain Gillespie, huge, top 10 recruiter in the nation. Then you have Mo Linguist, who played the position. He played right highly, coached at A&M, was in the NFL. You have Hitchler. Hitchler is an interesting one, Deborah. In fact, one of my favorite hires, Jake, because you look, Cincinnati really praises what he did with that secondary. Now, he was a safeties coach, but when you listen to the Cincinnati people talk, they're like, oh, well, he was great with Gardner and Bryant. And you're like, wait, wasn't he a safeties coach? But they talk about him as if he had a massive effect on the secondary as a whole. Not only that, he goes to Wisconsin and is a top 15 recruiter in the nation at Wisconsin, responsible for 7 or 8 of their 21 or 23. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize there. Suffice to say, I think when you look top to bottom, Shepard is going to be a great eye for talent. DeBoer, I think this staff we are in great hands as Alabama fans. And Ebony beat me to it. You got Courtney Morgan, who's one of the best in the business. So much so that Jamar Cain, who coaches with the Broncos, came out and said when Courtney Morgan got off that plane,
Yep.
Jamar Cain came out and said, "Oh, they just got one of the best in all of the business. Courtney Morgan is a name you need to know." That guy's coaching in the NFL. That guy was coaching at Oklahoma. That guy was coaching at
Yeah.
LSU. That guy knows the industry.
Yep. I mean, well, Courtney Morgan, if you know anything about his history and about how, just honestly, where he's like come from and what he's done and how he got back into this, right? Into the football world, from originally playing at Michigan, right? And so I tell you, Courtney Morgan has a lot of connections. He's a relationship guy. It makes sense while he is locked arms with Coach KD. I think they have a monster there in potential. I'm gonna just come out and say that, man, is like I think you have this guy, these two dudes who come together and build something so special, right? That you have this a dynasty continuing here at Bama with these guys here. I think you have a prime person at identifying talent, not just from a standpoint of players, but also coaches who also identify talent. Okay. You have a prime coach who identifies a standpoint of guys that he needs in his pocket or in his realm, in his circle of trust, that can coach, communicate the right way to make these kids the best they can be. They put all the right pieces. You have two guys who are working in this, let's just say from a business standpoint, that put the right pieces in all the right places. And you have a synchronized system that is not going anywhere. If anything, they just made that system way better. It's like having a really nice car and someone comes in and soups it up and does all the right things just perfectly. Now that car's even better. Okay. I mean, from that standpoint, I think just overall, what they have is pretty amazing with Courtney Morgan. And I will say from a recruiting standpoint, we look at, I know somebody said something, it's not about the stars. It's not about this. I mean, in the end of the day, it's not about the stars. It's about
100%.
the type of players you're getting that fit your vision. They buy into the vision, that they have the talent and the right mindset to pick up the concepts in the scheme, right? That these guys are in spots that they are going to help the program be successful, the team be successful, and that they're also going to have success, and they're coachable. There's a lot of guys out there who could be excellent for this or that, but they're not coachable. They have like all the wrong attitude. All right. Like, I don't want a selfish guy on the team. You know, like it's a good thing you see some of these guys bounce because you kind of have that selfish mentality. And that's why also I spoke about Caden Proctor having to come back and kind of earn that and show that he needs to get that trust back. Right. But at the same time, I just say, like, with what they're going after, the star thing is such a, it's just so, I mean, I don't pay attention to that stuff. I want to see how the guy plays and how he plays under pressure, and then what's his talent level, and then who he is as a person. I mean, what does he care about his grades? Does he care about the people around him? Right? What's his work ethic like? What's his mindset like? That's something that comes down to it. Obviously, talent is huge, and it is the main part of it, but it's not all of it. And yeah, I mean, I will see with Juju. I like Juju. I really do. I have a good feeling towards him. I don't know what, I mean, have you kind of watched this film at all, Ty?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got to remember, Juju Lewis is someone who is supposed to be a 26 kid, no?
Right,
Reclassified.
right.
I mean, very
Mhm.
talented, future very bright. And here's the thing.
Mhm.
Lincoln has a track record with quarterbacks. Fair.
Yeah.
But I was watching Get Up this morning. First time I've watched an ESPN program in a long time. Not because, for no other reason than usually I'm on here. I'm on
Mhm.
when they're going, I'm going. So it's this morning with the 9:00 start. I was like, you know what? I want to see what they're talking about with March Madness, any of the games I missed. Well, I
Mhm.
came in and they were actually talking about Caleb Williams.
Oh.
And one of the things they said is something I have said about Caleb. Caleb is unbelievable in terms of a natural ability, right?
Mhm.
But Caleb has gotten to a position of having to play hero ball. Now, that's not Caleb's fault, but I want you to imagine you're one of the best players in the nation, but every
Yep.
time you go out there, you got to score 55. Why?
Mhm.
Because you don't have a defense. They don't even know
Oh.
what that means.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley does
With
not even know
100%.
what that
Yes.
means. So
Yes.
you start developing bad habits because you're trying to do things that's like, no, you should not do that play. But the reason
Mhm.
why I kind of give Caleb a pass, because I'm like, listen, you're trying to win a game. And you
Dude.
know, if it doesn't come from where you're standing, it's not
Yeah.
happening. You're going to get ran out the building. Like you are going
Yep.
to get dragged if I don't score 45. I bring all this to your attention because Juju Lewis,
Mhm.
they ain't in the pack no more, my brother.
No.
Pack is
No.
dead. They're
It's
going to
dead.
the big. And I have
Yeah.
questions about the big, but they play
Mhm.
a higher quality of defense, typically year in, year out, than did the pack top to bottom. Now, that being said, there are teams in the pack that have played phenomenal defense. Utah, right? Super disciplined. Oregon
Mhm.
has, but it gets to a position where you have to ask yourself, am I going to want to play hero ball every time I go out there? Or do I want to really be a part of a team where I know I can go out there and do my job and know
Yeah.
100% that my defense is going to go out there and hold up their end of the bargain? If he goes to USC, all due respect to USC, he's going to look around and say, where's the defense? And Lincoln's going to go, what?
Mhm.
What's that? And it's at this point, it's something that has been pervasive with Riley.
Yeah. Yeah.
He completely disregards the defensive side of the ball. And dare I say, I don't know how much
Mhm.
you know about the strength and conditioning over there, but I would kill to talk to Damani Jackson off record and be like, hey man,
Yeah.
how is
What was it
working with
like?
Vinny Wiley as compared to working with the cats over here? Is there a difference? Like now you're not doing yoga out there.
Yeah, but Bao, I can't. Our strength and conditioning coach, I can't. His last name's a hard one for me to pronounce. I know it's like Bao, like Bo. It's like Low or U, but I don't know. But I'll say this is like that's a really good point, man. Like USC, I mean, the Caleb Williams things. That's a big deal to talk about. Like how much do they make that improvement? Like how fast do they improve? You know, like um, that's a huge thing for him to consider. But I do feel good. I mean, just from a standpoint of like when you're seeing a kid who's coming on campus who's that interested in again the energy, that feeling, and what guys are talking about from the recruiting standpoint of when they get done. Uh, he, I just would say this: you're in a position where it's hard not to go that direction as a recruit. You see what the quarterbacks do in this offense, and yeah,
Listen,
yeah. And
I don't want to say
Ebony,
too
Ebony
much,
knows, Ebony
but
knows.
the
She
fact
knows.
that
Yeah.
one of the most coveted players in the nation, their mom just came out and said,
Abu.
"No, I know who he's talking about."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, which coach is she talking about? She's talking about
I'm
Blue, or is she talking
assuming.
about Ebony?
Well,
Which
if
one are you
it's
talking about?
strength coach scared me, if she's referring to Blue, it's probably like, "Oh, that guy's a
Well,
monster." Like
well,
he.
he's huge.
But if she's
I mean, have you
talking
seen
about
him? Phew,
the
man,
USC one, it could be like, "Okay, what are we doing here?"
what is he? Is
Um,
he trying to grab butts?
no, listen, but I think there's a method to the madness, but
No,
I
it's messed
I
up. Don't
think
say
that
that.
like I think there's a method to the madness to what Benny
Mm-hmm.
Wiley is doing, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that what Benny Wiley wants to accomplish can be done without a traditional strength and conditioning program already in place. I think what he wants to do could be great in terms of supplemental, but saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're going to do this right here." Um,
Mm.
yeah, okay, she's talking about Baloo. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Baloo is
Blue's the
intimidating.
man.
Baloo's awesome.
Well, and that guy is I'm going to tell you right now, like that guy from a strength standpoint, there is no other guy I would want. You hear about what people say that from his background and history, he's extremely, extremely smart. Like he is beyond smart, but he has this broken down into such a science. Not to mention they brought over the guy from Sanford who is like above and beyond when it comes to this stuff. And forgive me, I forget his name, but he's kind of innovative in this athletic sciences, right? But I will say this is with Baloo, like man, that is one guy. If you are a young guy coming out of high school, this dude will turn you into a machine. I mean, a beast. All you got to do is look at the players on the field right now. Look at the high school kids on the field right now who are now on campus, right? And then we're going to be able to see it with the guys coming in, like when Noah gets there, right? And Williams gets there, and we got Amari Jefferson gets there. Okay, so these guys coming in, we're going to see it too with this huge transformation of their overall body, because he just knows. I mean, this guy is so detailed. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Ebony, for backing me on this one. Yeah. I mean,
It's
he's just
incredible.
into it, man. It is. It's cool. It's amazing when you have that. It feels good. I'll tell you what, it's different from a young guy. I'd be interested to hear with Noah, like how when he looks at this compared to like kind of the high school working out, right? Like what I remember when I looked at it from a standpoint when we got into the weight room and right before we're going into fall ball, coming out of high school, I was like, whoa, all right, this is completely different workouts than I had ever seen. And we had a good strength and conditioning program in high school. But it's interesting to see kind of how in depth Blue goes, right? So I love it, man, 100%. This guy's the man. He turned you into an animal. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and not only someone said, where is this? He was at Indiana, C Dial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was also at IMG.
Yeah. Well, and before that, that's kind of like how he got that big name, right? With like IMG, and it's nice. I mean, IMG's 40 minutes from me. Man, that's a school right there. Jeez. You see, yeah.
I love that, man. You get
Whoa.
a coach. And so, I mean, it's crazy because I forget who it was, but one of the guys at Bama was talking about like, oh, it was awesome because I knew Baloo. Like I knew him from IMG. And so being here working with him now, it's just great. And now I'm froze with the, oh, there we go. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. We're back. Okay. But with the last 7 minutes, and as the second coach, Sean, gets in here, we're going to have to integrate him into the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I've been doing, it's a Friday, and I think this will be a Friday thing. I want to take a look at some of the opponents Alabama will face, SEC opponents. And what I should do, and what we'll start doing, is running polls, right? We'll figure out a way to do a poll. That way, throughout the week, you guys vote on the team you want, talked about, broke down, all of that, who Alabama is playing.
Yep.
Are you in?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't want to answer that for you, but then I was like, well, he just kind of said he was like 40 minutes from IMG.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I'm like 10 minutes from Armwood, which is one of these top guys. There's a couple of them, honestly, at Armwood High School for the upcoming classes. Studs, I'll tell you that. You can see a lot of the guys out here are studs. That's just the Florida way, dude. That Florida has a whole different breed of athlete, but I mean, that's just, I think, the entire South in general, from Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, right? I hope I don't miss any. Georgia, definitely Georgia, Florida. I mean, it's down here. Yeah, man, the athlete is insane. So, but yeah.
No, it's a different, and then the level of competition, it's just a different style, right? I say this all the time. We were discussing yesterday, me and some people, we were discussing some of the recruits that Bama you need to be looking out for. One of them, Ty Haywood, right? 5-star offensive lineman from Denton Ryan High School. Now, Denton Ryan is a hop, skip, and a jump from where I currently sit.
Right, baby.
But I started breaking it down, and I was like, you guys don't realize how much talent is just in Denton, Texas. So there was a point where Ryan, if I'm going through here recently, I'm just going to name the 5-star guys from Ryan. All right. Just a few of them.
Yeah.
Bruce Sanders came from Denton Ryan. Jatavian Sanders, the tight end that's going to be a first-round tight end from Texas. He came from Denton Ryan. In fact, I was interning with Dave Campbell's Texas football whenever he was in his senior year.
I love it.
You can find me on some of the videos he has where he's doing the one-handed catches. If you look in the end zone, you'll find me somewhere. If you look at his state game highlights, you can actually see me standing in AT&T Stadium, like on the field, leaned up against the back wall, talking
That's legit.
Like all the people. Like I'm in a lot of those highlights for
even
viewers. So what's the
Oh, okay.
quarterback for Clemson? I forget his name, and I'm so
Oh
came
gosh,
from
it's a,
Austin
it's
Westlake.
yes. He can somebody help us with that just because I know it's not the easiest name to
He had the
remember.
lowest interception rate that 24/7 had tracked in high school. Neither
Mm-hmm.
here nor there. He and Quinn Ewers, that was the state championship game. They went
Mm.
heads up against each other, and I was sitting there like, this is awesome. But you had Drew Sanders, Jatavian Sanders. There was a time Cade Club. Yep, thank you so much, Undefeated. You guys
Kubinek, yes, thank you. That's what I
absolutely
say. That's a
escape my
difficult name to
mind.
remember.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why, but
Yeah.
Bear Alexander was in this
Uh,
area for a little bit. For a little
yeah.
bit. Anthony Hill was the number one linebacker in the nation now at Texas. He was over there. If you're talking about Denton Geyer, another high school in Texas, Jackson Arnold won Gatorade Player of the Year, was Elite 11 MVP and a 5-star quarterback. Peyton Bowen, 5-star safety.
I
The
mean,
talent in Denton
yeah.
alone is wild. But then you get into Flower Mound, you get into
Mm-hmm.
Frisco, and the Frisco Plano area is where they had that stadium that was so expensive, right? You
Mm-hmm.
get into Dallas, from DeSoto to Duncanville to South Oak Cliff, like, and I'm leaving out a lot here. I'm
Yeah.
just naming. Then you go down to Katy
Yeah.
Tom, like the Galena Park North Shore.
That's I mean, Texas from
Oh,
that
that's not a
standpoint
good
is
freeze
no
frame.
joke. Oh, did you freeze? Oh
I
yeah.
had
Be
a freeze
careful
frame.
snapping
It was
be careful snapping your fingers.
the Woodlands. Thank you
But
very much,
yeah,
Gilly. Thank you very much. The Woodlands. Like
yeah,
it's dumb.
it is dumb. But I will say this is like what you were saying about Ty Haywood. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. I mean, honestly, all those guys are like the one I really like David Sanders Jr. He's like number 2 player in the nation out of this 25 class offensive tackle. I would love to see him. And let's just say you're able to, and I do. I think Coach Kapovic, right, or Cap. I love Coach Cap. I think, man, I'll tell you right now. I think that he is one of these amazing recruiters. Amazing recruiters. And you look at Sanders, you look at Haywood, you have Dontrell Glover, Michael Carroll is a big Mike, really like Mike, number like 3-2 interior offensive lineman nation, really like Mike. And he was recruiting Mike over at Michigan State and Baylor. And then the more recent one that we've seen who I really look at and I like a lot, if you watch like their styles, and me and Smook have covered this, and we're going to, if tonight you guys, like I said, tune in with me and Coach Smook, we are going to do some film breakdown on some of these guys. At least that was the plan. It could change, but we'll see where we go. But make sure you guys tune in because we're gonna really dig into some of these recruits. It's going to be a lot of fun. But
That's gonna be a ton of fun.
Zaire Addison. Okay, you watch his film. Another guy, just a stud. All right, there is some, and then a lot of people don't give Mal Waldrop a lot of credit. Okay, but another one who's playing offensive tackle who I would probably say is more of a guard in my mind when I look at him. I mean, at 6'5", 290. I like him as guard, just the way he moves and pulls. He's very aggressive and he wants to drive guys down into the ground. Like he's a powerful dude. So you got this group of dudes that you look at with Coach Cap, who is focused in on what they're looking for, this body type, the style, these guys, in general, who are studs, absolute studs. And I'm excited to see what they do with that. And y'all, hey, I see the chat going on. Everybody, remember what I told you about the Bama standard. Everybody. In Southeast
There's a
Florida.
reason we had to get out of Blaze. We had to get Blaze.
That's right, man. I saw a comment on here. Southeast Florida, I feel, has better athletes than the rest of America. I'm not even
Tough
going
to
go
argue. Tough to
to
argue
anything
that.
outside of that. I mean, that is. It's, I think that's again, everyone has different opinions on where the best athletes are, right? Like,
but if you say
100.
that, right? Like if you say, "Oh, I think it's Texas," someone says, "Oh, I think it's Georgia,"
Yeah,
and
I
then you're
know.
like,
I
"It's
know.
Florida." Nobody's gonna call you crazy for any
No,
of those three. It's like,
100%.
okay, yeah, fair play.
You're allowed to
There is
have
Florida.
good opinions everywhere, right? Each one of them. I mean, you can't argue one over the other. I think in my mind.
So there was a point, Jake. I don't think I ever told you this. It was 2023.
Yeah.
The top 111 players, or not the top 111, of the top 300 players in the nation, 111 of them came from either Texas or Florida.
That seriously, man. That's one of the things even growing up where I'm like, I sit there and I go, God, I wish I would have played high school somewhere like not in Washington State. You're gonna get slapped on up there, man. Like there's zero respect for that up there, man. Like you got to go south to get that sort of exposure. But
I love Mike coming in here hot, being like, you know what? I'll be that guy.
Florida sucks, in my opinion. All right, that's cool, man. And then there's a lot of good arguments in here from a standpoint though of like, yeah, Dade and Broward County guys like that. Those are dangerous areas in Florida. And then you have the state of Mississippi overall right now. I mean, Mississippi right now looks from a ranking, from I guess a grade out standpoint, they look really good, really good. I like the Mississippi guys from like the high school. That's what I'm talking about. But just overall in general, and I think New Jersey doesn't get enough. PK 2K. New Jersey does not get enough love. Right? That's the thing about it. You could really argue that, as me and Ty were just saying, there's so many places you could go and make a credible and solid argument from a talent standpoint. And we could look at that, and compare it in several different ways,
Well, I'll tell you this right here. There was a time where I went and
dude, crazy.
we
freshmen.
We had it. Well, so and it's off
That's
of this,
nuts.
Rich B.
Yeah.
I had a soccer game because I played. If I wasn't playing football, I was playing soccer. Right, I loved soccer. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. In terms of like my favorite sport to play, it was football and soccer. Right there.
Okay. Yeah.
I was one of the only white guys in the soccer league in Gainesville. So I have a healthy dose of Spanish that isn't going to help me in life. But if I need the ball passed to me, oh boy, you bet you we're going to communicate beautifully. But we went to Trophy Club High School. Okay. Now this is where they play the it's the Byron Nelson tournament, right? Like this is that area, the PGA Byron Nelson tournament.
Yeah.
So we go to Trophy Club. We start, warming up to play them in soccer, and we've got some cats that are different on this soccer field. Like some of them that were set to go pro. One of my really good friends got straight up told, he was like, the coach told him, like, we'll give you a ticket right now to go play professionally in Mexico. I mean, like he was that dude. So we start playing and we start getting ready to warm up. And first off, this high school is unlike anything I ever saw. Gainesville has a nice high school, but Gainesville is not necessarily like Plano or Frisco or in terms of money.
Yeah.
You get into some money now. The entire second floor of the center of the high school was glass, and it was their workout room that overlooked the field. The soccer coach came up to us as our JV was getting ready to play their JV, and he said, and I quote, "Oh yeah, it's great y'all are here. Love getting the opportunity to play y'all." And then we were like, "Oh, well, this is a brand new high school." He said, "Yeah, we had 150 kids try out for JV."
That's crazy, dude.
We had 350 or something in the whole high school.
That's nuts.
And we're playing, but granted, we were a 3A school playing 5A schools in soccer, and this is before they hit 6A. We were playing, but in Texas, it is different just in terms of like, you'll have 150, 200 try out for the JV or freshman team.
Yeah. Like that's wild, man. I mean, just to see that number and then to compete in that number, right? But in the end, that's what you're doing nationwide to earn a scholarship. The percentage of guys playing Division I football is very, very small compared to the percentage of guys who their goal is to play, right?
Now, this is one thing that I've always been bad at. I mean, did I miss a question, or is because the acronym for thank you is TY? TY. So sometimes I don't know if people are like saying like, "Oh, you missed a question," or they're saying to someone like, "Oh, thank you." And I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
I know. Yeah, I know. I don't know. But anyhow, but with that being said, we got Coach Sean, everybody.
The man, the myth, the legend. Let me get you front and center, Coach. I'll go down here. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing, man?
I'm a little bit
Good,
better
man.
now, man. I mean, I've been doing great. Talking to Jake is always a great way to start off my
Cool.
day. But, Coach, it has been far too long, man. How have you been?
Oh man, I've been grinding, Todd. Man, how you been, bro? We spoke on you last night, bro. Wish you was in
Oh,
the
did you?
Yeah, man. We was just saying we wish you were tapped in with us. Me and Meryl and Jay and Smoot. We had we was on first, and then Jay and Smoot came in. Jay came in, and I said all we was missing was the brother Ty, man. Have him front and
Coach, you got to
center.
text me. Just shoot me the text.
Yeah, man. We supposed to do it if everybody is free. We supposed to. Kyle
What time
said
tonight?
Play a little bit tonight. Let me
anytime.
look.
What 7, 6, 7?
I'm
Yeah, let me
guesting
look
on a
at
show
that.
on 6. I told
Okay.
someone I'd guest
7.
on their podcast.
Was it
So
7, Meryl?
Well, it'd be between potentially even between
8.
Yeah, we could do like during the transition. I don't know. We just got to make sure everything's good with everybody. But yeah, right around that transition time between you and Jarek.
Oh yeah. Because me and Jay
you
go
and
on
Jay
at
are on.
6.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Meryl and Smoot come on at 8. So somewhere but long in there about 7:50. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was
Coach
cool.
Sean, you've never met Blaze, have you?
I have not. I don't even know who that is. Who I've heard that name several
He's
times.
a contentious character.
Okay.
It's one
Wait
you gotta
a minute.
watch.
Hold on, Ty, before you go any farther. Wait a minute. When you just said contentious character, I was watching you guys at work.
Oh.
And I seen this character come on to the. I didn't know who the hell it was, right? But I seen this character come out of the box, and I was like, "What the hell is this? The dreaded Blaze we hear about?"
What, did he have a glorious head of hair?
Yes, he did.
That's Blaze. That's Blaze.
Now I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
That's
Okay,
Blaze.
got it.
Yeah. See, he said something bad about one of the beloved dishes of Sweden, Sir Strummond. He told the Swedes that their food sucked, so they came and got him last night. I freed him about a month and a half ago from the grasp of the Lithuanian government. But at some point, you just got to let them learn their lesson. So if we have 250 likes, Sweden told me they would let Blaze go. I don't know if we're there yet, but I'm not going to go save him. Coach, would you believe yesterday I thought the dog was barking? I go outside to check on my dog because I leave the doggy door up. That way she can come and go as she pleases.
Yeah.
And it's Blaze outside barking, and he locks me outside and runs in here and takes over the show.
That's crazy.
I heard Blaze had it cracking in here. If that's the same guy that I saw, I heard it was quite
he said some stuff. He said some stuff. I don't know what he said. I don't have the heart to go check because it's embarrassing, quite frankly.
Yeah, you just don't give no 2 Fs.
I know.
love
he
it.
said that Caden Proctor. The one thing I do know that someone told me, he said that Caden Proctor going to Iowa to collect the $100,000 and then come back was about the most American thing he'd ever heard, and he was so proud of the finesse move of getting the money and then being like, "Deuces."
Iowa's begging to differ on that.
Yeah. I know the Ferenc said at least they didn't get his playbook, and I was like, "Well, Ferenc, we know your playbook. What are you talking about? Halfback draw
dude.
Next."
I've seen that where he said Caden played us for suckers. Like, what are you talking about?
What?
I think it's really. I do think it's sort of hilarious that to hear the Iowa fans complain after how he left. How he left Bama. It's like, come on, guys. How can you complain when you did the same thing to Alabama when he left in the beginning? So you lose them how you get them. You know what I mean? So
dude. You know what's funny? Do you know that? I think it's Theo Vaughn. He has that podcast, right? Did you see Roll Tide Willie on Theo Vaughn?
With Drewski?
I did.
Yep.
Holy dude, I was laughing so. Oh my goodness, dude! I was laughing so hard. He's like, "So you a Sagittarius or what?" And Real Time Willie's over there like, "Yeah."
Willie,
and he's
cool,
like, "Nope, nothing but the tide."
And I just love how Drewski can get him going. Drewski will just start like, "I don't give a," and then Willie comes right in and finishes it. They have an infectious. Drewski and him every time they get together, it's actually hilarious what they're able to do.
It cracks me out, man. I love that. That's funny.
I know you've got a great segment up and coming, a lot of great topics. I think Jake and I are going to get out of here. That way you can let the people know just your honest opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the best in the industry about to take over for the next hour. He's got the voice of a smooth jazz superstar, the cadence of the best out there. The one, the only, Coach Sean. With that, guys, I will see y'all on Monday. Maybe tonight. We'll see what happens. Until next time, roll tide as always, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Man, roll tide, everybody. Coach Sean. Get it. All right.
Roll tide to my two brothers right there, man, Merrill and Ty. Those guys are awesome, dude. You know what I mean? I listen to those guys. I'm their biggest fan, to believe it or not. I listen to those guys consecutively. I learn from Ty. I've always listened to Ty, you know. Even if I knew who Ty was, I used to listen to his channel, man. Those guys are absolutely awesome. You know, Merrill comes on, very, very, very influential, very, very good takes. Those guys are awesome, bro. Like, you can't go wrong listening to either one of those guys. And I learn from those guys every time they on. You can believe that. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Undefeated. Much love to you guys. Hope everybody tapped in and having a good time this morning, having a great morning. Blessed to see another day. You know, it could always be worse, man. You know, that's what I tell people. You know, you get up, no matter how your day is going, it could always be worse, right? So I'm blessed. I'm thankful to be living another day, to have a great family, beautiful family. And we in here. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it popped up, man. Run those numbers up if you guys get a chance. And look, I sound like a blogger now. Run the numbers up. I just get that from everybody else. It took me a while to know what they were talking about, run the numbers up, right? So if you guys can, please hit that like button so we can get this video cracking to everybody. Want to say big, big, big love and big, big respect to the Undefeated. You guys support me on Twitter, man, and I really appreciate that with your questions, with everything that's going on in college football today. I appreciate you guys tapping in with old Coach Sean, man. Shout out to Ebony. I see Ebony in here. It makes me happy to see her in here. Shout out to you, Ebony. Want to see who all we got in the Undefeated, man. Let me look over here and see what's cracking. You know what I mean? Tim Nolan. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man? Good to see you up in here. Todd is in here. My brother Antoine Currington is in here. Antoine, what's up with you, bro? Moon Rocker's up in the house. What's up, Moon Rocker? How you doing, bro? Rocket Town is in here. What's up, Rocket Town? William Chun is in here. Jared, my hashtag brother's in here. The king of the Undefeated with the hashtag. What's up, Jared? How you doing, man? Ruben Poole is in here. What's up, Ruben? Hope everything's going good. My neighbor, Marquita, is in here. What's up, Marquita? I'm so glad you're in here for sure. Nicole Covington is in here. I'm so glad you're in here, Nicole. Really, really glad you guys are in here. Brian Russell is in here. Raise the Bar is in here. John M is in here. Good morning to you guys, man. Dr. 334 is in here. What's up, Doctor? How you doing, bro? Glad you in here. John M is in here. Larry Large, the brother Larry Large, Double L is in here. Todd is in here. Louis Q Blevins Music is in here, man. The fisherman cap. Yeah. I was wearing that fisherman cap, bucket cap, whatever you want to call it. I was at the Bama game at that time against Ole Miss. Shout out to you, Louis. I appreciate you, homie. How you doing? Glad you tapping in, man. Monica Hill, thank you for tapping in. You are in here. I'm glad to see you, Monica. I'm glad you in here. Jimmy Brown is in here. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing? Skylar Cook is in here. LaQuasia, the D4 Queen, is in here. I'm telling you guys, man, you need to holler at LaQuasia if you need that decor. I'm trying to tell you, you better go get your look on. Kimberly Harmon. Kimberly Harmon is in here. Shout out to you, Kimberly. I'm so glad you're in here. Thank you for tapping in with me, man. My boy Moon Rock, as I said. Tim Nolan, as I said. Capstone Review is in here. Who else we got, man? Auntie Janet. Is that Janet Forsyth? Did you change your name, Janet? Did you change your name? It used to say Janet Forsyth. Now it says Auntie Janet. What's up, Janet? So glad you in here, man. Thank you for tapping in. I'll be looking for you now, Janet. Thank you for tapping in. Really appreciate you. Megan is in here. Antonio Russell's in here. Matt Farms is in here. What's up, Antonio? How you doing, broski? Hope everything going good. Nicole Covington is in here. I'm so glad you're in here, Nicole. That's a whole fact. My brother Gil Cruz is in here. What's up, Gil? How you doing, bro? I'm glad to see you, man. I get energy when I see you, broski. Much love to you, and prayers are with you as always, man. Much love to you, Gil, for sure, bro. D Bama Swag is in here. Batman is in here. Bama Boy is in here. Who else we got? Carla Bailey. Carla, what's up, girl? I'm glad you're in here. Thank you. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for tapping in, Carla. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're in here. I look for you. ASG is in here too, man. What's up, ASG? Big Bama Brand is in here. Triple B. What's up with you, broski? How you doing? How you feeling? You feel me? Around the table sporting my brother Ty right there. Nah, I'm the little goat. I'm the little tiny little goat. Ty is the big goat, right? I'm the little goat following the big goat. You know what I mean? Marquita, my neighbors, I said. Lax is in here. Jermaine Mims is in here. All you guys in here, man. Anthony Harris. Love you guys up in here, man. Who's that? Deborah Rothschild is in here. Deborah, what's up with you? I'm so glad you're in here, man. Thank you for tapping in with your broski. I appreciate that, because the truth will always be in the details, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with my light right here, man. It's bugging out. Got my face looking dark. I'm going to have to fix that today. I'm going to give me one of them big ass rings, right? These little rings just don't do it. You know what I mean? I want to be lit up. I'm in a different room, of course, right now. So this little light is not doing the business. I'm going to have to get a bigger ring. We'll fix that. Don't worry. Walt Albright is in here. Sweet Home Bama 24, my broski, is in here. Capstone Review is in here. Ronald Krause is in here. Rich B is in here. Man, look, MJ Particular Misfit is in here. Joseph Davison is in here. Jay Townsend, OG Jay Townsend is in the building, Brand. Steven Scuba is in here. Mike G is in here. Locks is in here. Lax is in here. And Nicholas Johnson and Michael is in here. Man, listen. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for tapping in with me. Shane B just popped in, man. What's up, Shane? What's cracking? Remember this about Coach Sean, man. I'm going to give it to you straight. Never late, man. The truth will always be in the details. Don't matter how I feel about it. Facts over feelings, man. The truth is always in the details. That's a whole fact. If it hurt me, I'm going to still tell you the truth, man. Right? Mickey Pate, what's up with you, broski? How you feeling? How you doing? Roll Tide to you and your family. Brian Russell, my broski, is here. Right? Just a few little things I want to touch on this morning, man. And we going back on tonight at right up between 7:50 and 8 o'clock. We'll be on at 7. Coach Jarek and I will be on at 7 o'clock. And Coach Smook and Merrill will be on at 8 o'clock. Ty, I think, is going to pop in with us all. We'll have a huge panel around 8 o'clock-ish. But everybody tap in at 7 for me and Coach Jay, and just stay there if you can. We're going to all be on a panel together, I believe, like last night. Roll Tide, Mickey, I appreciate you. We have good fun, man. And it's Friday, so the hats are off, as Smook say. The hats are off. And here's the thing. Here's your entrance fee, right? You got to bring a cup of something, right? You got to bring your cup, and you got to be in the chat with the cup. You got to be in the chat with the cup, Todd. You got to be there. Dino, you got to bring, and here's the rule. When you have your cup, you can't discuss what's in the cup. What's in the cup is called G14 classified. We don't discuss the contents of the cup. You could have apple juice, and you could have some of that other kind of juice. Whatever it is, we're going to have a good time tonight. It's Friday. Everybody tap in. We're going to talk some stuff. Hope a troll or two come in. Have a good time with us, man. G14 classified, Dwight. You know how it is. This is Friday night. We be professional through the week and talk football. But Friday night come, we're going to let our hair down. The few little hair we got left, you know what I mean? We're going to let it down, broski. We're going to have a good time, man. Jay Townsend, what's up with you, my OG? OG Jay Townsend says, Coach Sean, I'm surprised that everyone isn't in green today. We gifted 50 fan funded gifts this morning. What? Are you serious? Man, I'm gonna have to come give me one of them damn funders, because y'all doing it big, bro. Raise the bar. Y'all doing it big. Jay Townsend, Kimberly, you guys are awesome, man. 50? We're gonna have everybody in green before it's over with. Nobody does it like the undefeated, man. Nobody, you got a lot of Bama sites, a lot of Bama, a lot of great Bama content out there, man. But nobody does it like this channel, man. I'm telling you, right? You have other channels that be in here rubbernecking. You know what I'm saying? They won't say it. You know what I mean? They'll criticize and things of that nature, but they copy the undefeated name. They copy with their fans. This is a whole fact. I've seen it, and it's funny. It's funny, man. Nobody does it like the Undefeated. You guys make this channel. We just do the same thing we've always done. Let's talk football. You guys, the chat. When I look and see Antoine up in here with the Undefeated wear on flexing, I like that, man. You guys make the chat. So when we come, when a visitor comes in and they see all of us talking to you, they're like, wow. It makes them feel sort of out of place if they're being disrespectful. You know, they'll do it once or twice and then they won't come back because they realize this is a together channel. And that's what Kyle has built here. Kyle and Lady T, they have built a channel that everybody can feel at home with. So we meet each other, everybody gonna hug each other's neck, say roll tide, man. And that's what it is. That's what it is, man. Shout out to Ebony Carter Williams. Hope she's still in here. That's my partner. Shout out to the young baller himself, Noah. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to get young Noah on campus, get him some of this down south cooking, put about 15 pounds on him and let that boy go destroy some quarterbacks. You know, that's what it is. I'm glad you guys tapped in, man. I want to talk first about Jalen Milroe, right? And this cadence thing and what Coach DeBoer had to say. I don't know if the guys before me talked about it. I apologize for this light, man, in this room. For some reason, this light is tripping. I don't know if it's the color. I don't know. Let me see. If I switch the color, would it look different? May or may not. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, no, that's awful. That's awful. It like some, I don't know. I guess that's the best color. It usually does well. I'm going to buy a big one today. When I have to be in the living room, not to be in here. I'm gonna buy a bigger light, so I apologize for that light, guys. It will be better, I promise you. Coach DeBoer, Tim Moeller says JMHO, everyone on this channel fire. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact, Tim. That's a whole entire fact. You are completely. Everybody on this channel is fire. Everybody on this channel does an absolute awesome job. And here's the thing: everybody know one another. Everybody recognize each other from their profile pics. Everybody is cool and great with one another. So I can't be nothing but ecstatic and happy. And I thank you guys for tapping in with us. One question he said about Smook. What did you say? Let me catch you. Let me catch you. I'm trying to see where to go. Michael says, Coach, any news on the recruits Smook was talking about? Yeah, he gave us a couple little. I'll let him tell you that, man. I don't want to be the one to, to break the stuff he has, right? I'm not the breaker of the news, right? I let Smook be the one to sort of break the news. That's their thing, right? I'm just a football guy. If you want to know cover 3 from pattern matching, ask me. The recruit stuff, I let Smook and Kyle do that kind of thing. I let him break that. I don't want to be the one to take the news and break and do all that kind of stuff. Smook is absolutely outstanding at doing that. I let him do that, Michael. He gonna hit y'all up here extremely soon. But listen, Coach DeBoer. This is why I like Coach DeBoer, man, because I talked about Ryan Day last night, and I talked about how Ryan was saying that Jalen's cadence made Seth snap the ball high. Now, I want you to understand that for those that has never played football before, the cadence is the said, hi. We going on 1, we going on 2, said, hi. We're going on 2, we're going on 3, said, hi. Whatever the cadence is, whatever the call is in the huddle, that's the cadence, right? He tells the offensive line, he calls the play, then he'll say on whatever. Trips right 34 crossbuck on 2, where they break. That means said, hike, the second hike. But everybody's cadence is different. They'll call out numbers, they'll call out things to discombobulate the defense. That's the cadence. The cadence from the quarterback has not a damn thing to do with the ball's trajectory, right? The cadence from the quarterback has to do with jumping off sides. Now, I understand if he had said Jalen's cadence and emphasis on some of the hikes made Seth jump off sides or hike the ball early. If he had said that, okay, maybe we have an argument and maybe we can see if that's the truth or not, right? But what the hell does the sound of the voice got to do with you hiking the ball over my head? Or rolling the ball back to me like we bowling, right? Explain to me what the hell the cadence got to do with you rolling the ball back to me like a bowling ball, man. I don't understand. He said the cadence had something to do with the bad snaps. Can you explain to me how? What does a cadence have to do with a bad snap? I don't understand. If you tell me the cadence has something to do with him jumping off sides, okay, I can go with that. Maybe it did, right? But even the cadence being off, the 12th game, the 13th game, and you're still doing it, man, knock it off. Knock it off, man. That's something you see in the preseason, first game, maybe the second game, maybe, right? The 12th game, the 13th game, man, and you're saying the cadence made you do that. Knock it off, man. Knock it off, man. So I really enjoyed the fact that they brought it up to Coach DeBoer, and Coach DeBoer addressed it. He said, I guess I can only really go off of what we've done right now, and we haven't had any problems there. That's what Coach DeBoer said. I can honestly tell you we haven't had one bad snap, right? That hadn't been an issue at all, right? He says we use our cadence, and it's the clap cadence at times. Jalen and the rest of the quarterbacks have done a great job at really perfecting that, as well as the voice cadences, right? So what that tell you is it wasn't the cadence. It was just you had some horrible snaps at the time. And that's what it was. That's what it was. I'm not, I'm not upset about it as far as Jalen is concerned, because if I know Jalen, he don't care what those coaches say. Jalen doesn't care what those coaches say at all. He does not care. Jalen is in his own lane, right? Jalen Milroe is way past snaps and being his fault. Everybody understands that when you play center and you're getting whipped on the offensive line, that is when the bad snaps happen, right? Everybody understands when you're playing center, especially, and you got that nose guard bearing down on you, or that 3 technique slanting to you, right? Everybody understands when you're getting whipped and knocked off the ball, that is when you have the bad snaps. Please understand that. That's why sometimes you've seen him not have some, because some offensive lines don't whip you in that manner. But when you play a defensive line who's getting to you and pushing you and getting movement with you, knocking you off the ball, that is what's causing you to hike the ball high. That is what's causing you to hike the ball low. You're trying to hurry up and get out of your chance because this guy across from you is whipping your ass, right? He's putting belt to ass on you, brother. That's why you're hiking the ball like that. You're trying to hurry up. It's the same thing, guys, as when an offensive tackle jumps off sides. He's trying to hurry up and get in that pass set. He's trying to hurry up and get the head start before this guy releases off and beats him. That's what he's trying to do, right? So I don't want to hear none of that. It's because of the cadence and all. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't hear none of that. The truth is in the details, man. And the details say you were getting whipped. That's why you centered the ball the way you did. You were getting whipped. You were trying to hurry up and get out of that stance because people were putting pressure on you and getting movement on you. That is why you did what you did. So let's not blame Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe hadn't had any problems with cadence right now. Any problems. What the hell does a clap have to do with your ability to hike the ball? I don't understand that. If the clap was wrong or loud or off kilter or off cadence or whatever excuse you want to use, what does that have to do with you hiking the ball over my head, man? If anything, you should have jumped off sides and it's still been a perfect snap. Then I can understand what you're saying. Okay, the cadence messed me up. You understand what I'm saying? I can understand your logic then if you hike the ball over my head. If you hike the ball to me, but you just do it in a bad, timely fashion. You do it on a non-clap, or you hike the ball to me at the wrong time. I can understand then maybe it's the cadence, maybe we need to work on the cadence, but you hike the ball over my damn head, man, right? And then you roll the ball to me like we're bowling, and you've done that over and over and over again, Seth, Ryan. So explain to me, how's that the quarterback's fault? We got to stop, man. We got to stop. Well, thank you, Coach Kalen DeBoer, for taking up for Jalen Milroe, for making people understand that you hadn't had any problems to go on with the snap as long as you've been at Alabama. So we'll leave it right there and put that to rest. I think we know whose fault it was, with all due respect to everybody involved. Speaking on Jalen Milroe, to segue into something, Jalen Milroe. Now, before I say this, what's up, Buck? How you doing, man? Glad you up in the house, man. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Auntie Janet. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to still call you Janet Forsyth, though. You know what I mean? I like saying your whole name. Megan. Thank you, Megan. $20 super chat. Happy Friday. Coach Sean and the Undefeated. Thank you, Megan. Much appreciated with you, Megan. Thank you. I can speak for the entire staff when I say thank you for that. That means a lot. It means a lot to us. We appreciate you. Much love to you, and happy Friday to you as well. That $20 super chat is greatly appreciated. Roll Tide to you and your family. Jalen Milroe. We all understand that Jalen played extremely well at times, and sometimes he didn't play well, right? Typical thing for a quarterback, if you want the truth. I don't know one college quarterback that had every single game outstanding. Bryce played bad at times, right? CJ Stroud played bad a lot. Mac played bad, against Ole Miss a few years back, against Auburn a few years back, in his early days. It happens at quarterback. The ups, the downs, the great games, the okay games, the bad games, the interceptions, the touchdowns, the wins, the losses. It happens at quarterback, man. Quarterback, you get a lot of the credit for when a team wins. You get a lot of the blame when the team loses. It just comes with the territory. It just comes with the territory, guys, right? But I want you to understand Jalen Milroe was the youngest starter, right, as far as games in the SEC last year. Jalen Milroe will be one of the veterans this year. I think Jalen, going through those ups and downs and losing the way we did, everything he went through in the South Florida game, I think all that done to Jalen Milroe is make that kid stronger. He understands now the responsibility of playing quarterback at the University of Alabama on national TV in front of thousands and thousands and millions of people. I think he already understood it, having watched on the sideline from what Bryce had to go through, getting a bird's eye view of what Bryce Young had to go through, the ups, the downs, the Tennessee game, the LSU game. He got a bird's eye view of that, guys. So fast forward to this year, practices. Jalen Milroe has played outstanding so far, right? The fundamentals are there. The care, the leadership is there. The team follows this guy. Jalen Milroe is quarterback number one, guys, right? And it's no shadow about it right now. It's no, let's wait and see. I think Coach DeBoer knows that. And that's no slight to Ty. I think Ty Simpson is going to have an outstanding career here at the University of Alabama. It's just not his time yet. That's all. If Ty just holds on tight and don't fall for the transfer portal okie doke, Ty Simpson will be a legend here at Alabama, just like Jalen Milroe is about to be. Right? Take a note from Mac Jones. Take a note from Tua. Take a note from Jalen Hurts. Even Jalen. Jalen stayed until he couldn't stay no more. Jalen stayed until his senior year, right? Going into his senior season, right? He had to transfer to complete that senior season, right? You can't ask nobody for nothing else. So I'm really impressed with the things I've heard about Jalen Milroe, what the team has said about him. I'm really impressed and excited for the future of Alabama football, of what I've heard about the improvements he's made, the small things, the fundamentals, the getting the ball out of his hands quick, right? Now we'll see, because the games are here to be played, right? But everything you can ask of that young man at this point, at this stage, has been completed. Coach DeBoer talked about him. Coach DeBoer talked about how he had multiple pieces of his game that were excelling, getting better from the film he watched. He said we've got some great ones in the room. Jalen's certainly been heading that room, being the leader of that room. He's done a great job in all facets of things that you want from your starting quarterback, right? In addition to his on the field production, Milroe was voted a permanent captain by his teammates last year. So the Redshirt Junior has carried, over their leadership from last year to this year. And really, guys, when you're talking about that quarterback position, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, man. You want to see the team rally around one guy while supporting everybody. You want to see the team rally around one guy while supporting everybody. And that's what's it. Bama Fan 95. Bama Fan 95 with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Bama Fan 95. Roll Tide to you, brother. We thank you for that super chat. It means a lot to contribute to this channel. I speak for everybody when I say it's much appreciated, no matter what it is. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much, Bama 95. And Roll Tide to you and your family, man. That's a whole fact. So I hope the guys in the quarterback room stay and understand the grass isn't greener on the other side. NIL deals will come. You play quarterback, so none of you are going to have a hard time getting NIL deals. They call him Jay Mill. Jay Mill's a great leader, Justice Haynes said. He's the first one in the building, the last one to leave, right? So you have all the players in the room talking about Jalen Milroe. You have other quarterbacks talking about the development that Jalen Milroe brings, and that's what you want to see, guys. That's what you want to see at this stage. It's still early. But you want to establish those leaders in football to give the younger guys somebody to look up to, right? To give these guys who are even older something to look up to, something to shoot for. I want to be like that. Jalen Milroe was in this spot 2 years ago with Bryce Young. It was him who was young. It was him who was in the locker room watching Bryce, watching how he performs, watching how he comes out of the stadium giving 5 to everybody. Jalen do that now, right? Each one, teach one. That's how it goes. Each one, teach one. That's how it goes, man. The truth is in the details. And the details right now is that young man will be your starting quarterback. I do believe that. I don't believe that Jalen Milroe, with all that experience and going on the road to LSU and playing Michigan in the top football game at the end of the season, and playing Georgia in the top conference championship of any college football conference. When you have all that experience in those kind of big games, it does nothing but help you the very next year, man. Now, yes, he has some things he needs to work on, just like every quarterback in the country has things to work on. When Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech, when Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes struggled, believe it or not, with his deep ball. His deep ball wasn't very accurate, right? This kid went into the NFL with some accuracy issues. He was always a agile quarterback. He always made off-platform throws in the intermediate routes, right? He's always had that in his holster, right? But his deep ball wasn't like the deep ball you see now on Patrick Mahomes. And that was the questions about it, right? So improvement from the quarterback position is always prevalent, man. And I think you will see improvement from Jalen this year. And this kid will be one of the most dynamic players in college football. Mark my words on that, right? Kid was young last year, man, learning on the fly, right? Learning on the fly. This year, full year under his belt at starting, look out, man. Anytime a college football team has a returning quarterback, look out. Look out. Because that is when you have an ingredient for a national championship. I'm telling you, that is when you have the ingredients for a national championship. Quarterback, check. We got that. Running backs, check. We got that. D-line, check. We got that. Coaching, check. We got that. Linebackers, check. We damn sure got that. Secondary, that's going to be the young guys, right? Offensive tackle, that's going to be the young guys, right? And we definitely seen what offensive tackle can do over the course of the season. So we have great reason to be excited, guys. We have absolute ample reason to be excited. The whole world is doubting Alabama, but I'm going to tell you something that segues into my next topic. It segues into my next topic on the fact of everybody thinks Alabama's not going to be good, right? But here's what I found out, Undefeated. Here's what I found out. I found out that a lot of these people be fronting, right? I got one of my topics. It says the rivals are taking note. That's what I want to segue into. The rivals are taking note. What I mean by that is this. Do y'all see any trolls coming in talking bad about recruiting anymore? Do y'all see any trolls coming in talking about Coach DeBoer hadn't done this and done that? Do you see any trolls coming in having anything worth saying to say? There's not a damn word a troll can say right now because Alabama is having its way in recruiting. Alabama is having its way with the kids coming to Alabama's practices, seeing the high energy, right? Ronald Krause, $2 super chat. I love watching your show. You keep it real. Ronald, I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot to me because I definitely try. It's very difficult at times because, you know, not saying the Undefeated because we have realistic fans in here, but some fans will get mad if you tell them the truth, right? They'll fight you and go down with the ship. You know, I love the Undefeated because we can be honest with each other. You know, we can call a spade, right? Because it's going to help us in the long run, right? When we talk about the Michigan game, I say it. They whip their asses up front. It happens, right? Doesn't happen to Bama very often, but they definitely whip their asses up front. That pains me to say that. Hurts my damn teeth to say that. And I ain't even know teeth got nerves in them. I know the roots do. Hurts my teeth, man, to tell the truth like that. But the truth is in the details. And the details say we got our asses whipped up front. Now, was that the coach's fault? Players' fault? I don't know. But the truth is we lost that game up front. You know, we lost that game with all them crazy snaps, right? We done enough in that game to let any team beat us and not win the game. We lost it. We gave it to them, if you ask me. And so it pains me to say that, Ronald, but the truth is in the details, and I appreciate that. It's a $2 super chat, man. I appreciate that. I try to keep it real, and shout out to the Undefeated for giving me the strength to do that, to give me the leeway to do that. So that's my next topic, man. The rivals are taking note. Mike Bentley said it best. Mike, I'm gonna put that comment up, man, because it pains me to read that, Mike. It pains me to read that, but it's the truth. Where'd it go? Let me grab you, Mike. Alabama gave up 49. Good Lord, man. It just hurts my heart to even read that. Alabama gave up 49 sacks last year. Only 3 other teams were worse. We ranked 129th. Unacceptable. And think about this. Think about this, Mike. As bad as that was, we made the college football playoff and was 1 game away from winning the whole damn thing. Let them hate on Bama all they want, guys. Let them hate all they want. We coming. That's a fact, Mike Bentley. That's a whole fact. Janet Forrest said, Coach Sean, I've been working, but I'm listening. and commenting through these gloves when I can type. All love to you, my Bama fam. Hey, much love back to you, Janet. You know you are one of the leaders in this dadgum chat. We love you to death. I see people chiming in, talking to you all the time. We love you back, Janet. Make that money, man. Make that money. Do your thing. Be blessed too. We appreciate you, Janet. $10 super chat from the girl Janet, from our people, Janet, from Auntie Janet, as we say. Much love to you, Janet. You are greatly appreciated. Always remember that. Always remember that. You know, when you pop in, we gotta holler at you because everybody here appreciates your time, and the Undefeated as a whole love you guys to death. Thank you guys for that, man. Thank you, Janet. Hope you have a great day at work and hope it's over quick. It's Friday. Need you at home, kick back with your flip-flops on, your Sean Collectors on, chilling. So, yeah, Moon Rocker, that's terrible, bro. That's not even terrible. It don't even deserve the E. 49 damn sacks, that deserve a U. We need to misspell terrible. That's terrible. See, terrible is worse than terrible. That's terrible. Tell them, Moon Rocker, terrible is bad. Terrible is foobar. You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy, right? So the rivals are taking note, though, guys. The rivals are taking note. I appreciate you, Kimberly. That's much love to you, man. It means a lot to me. Much love to you, Kimberly. We appreciate you as well. That's a whole fact. If you guys don't think it's people in here right now, it's 248 people in here, right? It's a lot of rubberneckers in here, right? It might be 160 undefeated in here, but it's probably 85 rubberneckers in here right now. And some of those rubberneckers are our fans. They just like to listen. And some of those rubbernecking are other fans that just want to hear what we got to say. And it's okay. We understand that in this business. They in here rubbernecking right now. And rubbernecking means you in here watching. You don't want to say much, just want to watch. That's okay. Coach Sean don't mind that. Rubberneck, do what you need to do, because you're gonna get it real here. Here's the thing about that. The rivals don't have anything negative to say because there's nothing negative going on. You know what I mean? Shout out to James Rich. What's up, James? How you been, bro? Seen you in a minute, man. Shout out to the University of Georgia, man. I ain't seen my brother James in a minute, man. How you doing, James? What y'all got going over there in Athens, man? Tell us something good, man. Tell us something good what y'all got going over there in Athens, man. Know y'all cooking up something over there. Know y'all cooking up something, James. Let me in on it, bro. No secrecy in the mob. Tell us, bro. Tell us. Shout out to James, man. Love James to death, man. Roll Tide to you, man. Roll Tide, real rare 100. Roll Tide, my broski. You already know, man. Much love, much appreciated to you. But Moon Rocker said it best, man. And I'm sure James is getting the same treatment at Georgia. When you on top, you used to being viewed. That's a fact. That's a fact. And James, I can honestly say, you guys at Georgia are getting the same treatment. They treating y'all the same way. They hate on you. They talk bad about you. They try to, every time something bad happens, even if it's something small, they try to blow it out the proportion. You're getting the Bama treatment. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? You should be used to it, not James. Georgia is getting the Bama treatment. Every time a kid races, I understand bad things happen with the racing. Bro, let me tell y'all something that a lot of y'all may not know. It's more BS to go on these campuses with these kids than y'all have no clue. Like, it's fights, it's all type of players high. It'd be stuff going on, man. They're kids. We was in college is what it was, right? But every time Bama do it, Georgia do it, somebody who's a winning program, oh, it makes the headline news, man. It makes the head CN damn in, right? It's just what it is, man. Hey, y'all already there, James. Y'all already have the clout as far as the reputation. You know, when something, if you don't think so, wait till something bad happens. Like it's quiet right now, James, right? Let me tell you what the Bama treatment is. It's nice and quiet. You know why it's quiet? Because everything's going good. Georgia's getting recruits. Bama's damn sure getting recruits. Nice and quiet. Wait till something bad happens. Wait till a commit flip or somebody decommits or something like that. Oh, they're going to come out the woodwork. They're going to come out the woodwork, James. That's just how it is. Now, go ask us, would that same thing happen if a kid decommits from LSU? Who the hell gives a damn? Who the hell cares? That ain't gonna make no news. Nobody cares. If a kid decommit from Clemson, nobody cares, man. The truth is in the details, right? Let a kid decommit from Florida, from Georgia. Oh, it's gonna be tops in Twitter, right? Let him decommit from Bama. Oh, it's gonna be headline news, man. So it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory, guys. But the rivals are taking note. They see this. Have you noticed? None of these columnists who always have something bad to say about Bama isn't saying anything right now. No news is good news in our case, right? Notice that all these columnists that always got something crazy to say about Alabama, it's nice and quiet. You know why it's nice and quiet? Because they see these kids are interested in Bama, big time. They see all the energy. I've seen the recruits talking. I've seen them. They talking about how the practices. I think one recruit, the young man from he said that the practices are lit. That's his word. Man, these practices are lit. You got the music going. You got the kids hype, jumping around. They going hard. They practicing hard. Everything is going the way it's supposed to, man. Everything is going the way it's supposed to. And for those that had doubts, music has been in practices in football for well over 15 years, man. We just didn't do it here at Alabama. It was Saban had his way. It was quite boring, to be honest, but Saban had his way, and it worked, right? But please believe, music is at Georgia. Music is it's just what the kids do nowadays. It's nothing abnormal. That's why they do it. Coach DeBoer's a younger coach. Coach is in full tune with what the kids want nowadays, and they practicing hard. I'll be the one to tell you that you can be distracted at practice with or without music. You know how many times I was at practice in La La Land, your mind somewhere else, with no music playing, but your mind is somewhere else. You broke up with your girlfriend, you're upset about it, your big toes hurting, whatever, right? Your mind just not there. It's the coach's job to get the kids laser focused, right? The music is not going to be a distraction. That's going to get your juices pumping. When you're tired and you don't feel like it, that's going to get your juices pumping, man. Right? So, you know, you got to understand what it is, guys. And right now, the rivals are taking note. Everybody who we think is a rival, as far as, you know, teams that are not on Bama's level, they're watching. They're watching right now. You got places like Georgia who doing their own thing. They don't give a damn about what's going on in Bama. They're doing their own thing. I respect that, right? Stuff like that I can respect. Even Michigan, right? Michigan won a championship. They lost a lot of players. They doing their own thing. But you got these punk-ass Ohio State people watching, taking stuff from Bama, trying to be like Bama. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just got a message. We got a troll coming at Ebony. Wait. Hold the hell on. Who? What's his name? Point him out. Him or her out. Attention-seeking trolls. Which one? Where is he? I didn't even see him. I was just running my Texas fans are the worst. Where at? What's his name? What's the troll's name? You know I ain't with that. Coming to Ebony too? Oh no, we ain't rolling like that, cuz. We ain't rolling like that. I'm gonna do you real dirty. If you coming at her undefeated, I'm gonna do you real dirty. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna forewarn you, troll, right now. I catch up with you right now, cuz I'm gonna do you dirty. I'm gonna do you dirty, brother. Please be forewarned. You know what I'm saying? I'm different than the other coaches. I love this stuff, but if Kyle told me to stop today, I would gladly go. I ain't got to be on here. I'm gonna do you real bad, bro. I catch up with you. Wait, where we at? Which one is he, James? What's his name? Stephen Brown. Is that his name? Stephen Brown? Stephen Brown's the national champ. Which is it, the Stephen Brown guy? No, Steve Brown. Is that his name? Is this the guy? I don't want to do it to the wrong person. Is that him? With the dog on his picture? Is that him? Let me see. Let me catch up with the. Oh, that's him. That's him, Vlavette. That's him, Ebony. Okay, Steven. So check this out. Check this out. Do Bama women have all their teeth? Do your mama got all her teeth? Do your mama got all her teeth? How about that? Do your mother got all her teeth? I said it. Sean said it. Do your mama got all her teeth? Get your weird ass up out of here with that goofy stuff. It's a football channel. We ain't with none of that stupid shit, man. Get your punk ass up out of here. First of all, let's delete that comment. Let's get your ass up out of here, homie. That was real quick and easy. Nah, we ain't going like that. We ain't doing that. Get your weird ass up out of here real quick. With none of that. Can't stand these goofy ass dudes coming with these punk ass profile pictures with dogs and cats and birds and mice and geese. They want to talk tough. Smack your lips off, cuz, on everything. Hate people like that, cuz that's the part of social media that I'm having a problem with, that I really gotta grab. I can't stand cowards like that. You know what I mean? I like troops who like football, come here disrespecting women and then talking crazy to Ebony. Man, nah, we ain't going with that. Get your ass up out of here, man. Go to that other channel with that. Goofy. I can't stand weak men. I can't stand it, man. I didn't grow up like that, cuz. Chicago didn't teach that to me. I don't like weak people that get tough behind these little buttons. This is a football channel. You come here disrespecting women, I'll get your ass up out of here. Quick. Belt to ass. And what was it? The rivals. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate that, Bear. My homeboy Bear just hit me and told me. I didn't even see him. Thank you. I apologize, Undefeated, for that. Please forgive me for that, but I had to get him up out of here, man. I ain't gonna have him disrespecting y'all. I ain't going for that at all, especially not Ebony. We ain't going for that, you know. I appreciate you, Jimmy Brown. I got y'all back, man. I promise you I do. I promise you. That just infuriates me, though, bro. That's the part of social media that Moon Rocker, I have a problem with that, man. I'm trying my best to understand why people talk so much behind these little buttons, but won't say nothing. And come here with these weirdo profile with dogs and plants and cartoons on their profile pic, then talk crazy to a young lady. Use a catch me offline. I tell you what I really think about you. Use a witch with a W, but take the W off and add the B. Straight up. But yeah, shout out to you, Ebony. Don't pay that man no attention. I apologize for him. You know what I mean? We'll get him up out of here. You'll never be disrespected here, man. Yeah, Antoine, we had to get him up out of here, bro. We had to. My bad for not seeing him. I apologize to y'all for that. I didn't even see that dude, man. Yeah, they saw me. He was my boy Bear just hit me, say he was talking crazy. Thank you for that, Bear. I appreciate that, man. Run the Table Sports, man, my partner. Thank you for letting me know that, bro. I did not see that young man, bro. Run the green, you already know, my brother. You already know. Roll Tide, Scott Grable. You already know, broski. I'm a boy. We in here, man. We in here, bro. John M., you already know we in here. Gil Cruz, you know, brother. My partner Gil, he already know. Yeah, man, talking crazy. We love you back, Ebony. We love you back. That's a whole fact, man. Like I was saying, rivals are watching. Rivals, man. They're taking note. Hey, Larry, they taking note, bro. Dr. 334, they taking note. Wait, Albert, they taking note. They watching. They rubbernecking. You know what I mean? I don't mind them rubberneck. Just don't come in here with that, man. Please, bro. I don't do that, man. We trying to have a good time. You already know, Encino. Hey, Nico, we trying to have a good time, bro. Tell them, bro. It's ridiculous, man. That people come in and try to talk stupid. And you know what's so crazy about that, guys? They'll come in here with that being their intention, right? They don't have no intention of talking about football. You know, look at. It's so many trolls that come in here, and we'll troll. We'll go back and forth and have a good time. Nobody ever disrespect nobody. It's okay. It's okay. We expect the trolls to come in here. That's why I like people like James Richards. James is a Georgia fan. That's why I try to get him the respect, his team the respect. Cuz come in here and talk football. He give his team love, and he don't disrespect nobody by doing it, right? He stand on business, and I respect that, man. So you will always get love here. You know, nobody asked you to come in here and be quiet. You know, represent your team, talk some stuff, you know, but don't disrespect people, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. So yeah, the rivals are watching, guys. The rivals are watching. And the good thing about it is they taking note to all the good things that's going on at Bama. They're taking note to the practices. They're taking notes to the high energy. And you better believe, guys, they're taking note to all the recruits that's coming to Alabama, one after another. Duke Johnson is a monster. The linebacker we just got, monster. You better believe they're taking note. The enemies are taking note, right? it's shocking them that the train isn't slowing down. The train isn't slowing down, guys. Right? That's a whole fact, Kimberly. Kimberly said it best. We are beautiful ladies in the chat and handsome men, and we proud Bama people. We proud Roll Tide folks, bro. And that's what it was, and that's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? We don't mind no other team showing love, man. But don't disrespect the people. Don't even come here disrespecting. James is a Georgia fan, but I ain't gonna let you disrespect him either. Right? That bro coming here all the time, respect everybody and represent UGA the way it's supposed to be represented. I ain't gonna allow no fan to disrespect him either, man. That's just what it is. That's what it is, Michael. Michael said it best. Michael said it best, man. Where you at, Michael? Let me grab that one. Michael said their team isn't interesting. Like that's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. If you are a fan of another team like that, I'm sure there's some chats going on with whatever team you like or whatever. The hell you in here for? To disrespect people. Come on, man. That's ridiculous, bro. Some people ain't got nothing better to do though, man. You know what I mean? Hey, who's that? Let's see. I'm trying to be in the fan. Hey, bro, you here? You representing yourself. You talking football. You here, brother. We got much love and respect for you, man. That's all we ask. You in the family, bro. You come to the undefeated. Look, Artez, it's all good, brother. You in here with us, man. We talking football. Wait till the season starts. We get at each other pretty good, but it's all in love, man. It's all in fun. It's all in love. You know, we ain't trying to disrespect nobody's families and have people's kids watching, no disrespect or thing like that. Man, that's why we try to keep it 100. But if you come in here with that energy, I don't got no problem with matching it. I'm not a social media guy. This is my first social media thing I've ever done in my life. They'll tell you had to make me do this practically. Smook stayed on me about this. I wasn't going to do this because I see how people talk on social media, man. I just don't come from that world, bro. I'm in my 40s. I don't come from that. I'm not cut from the social media world where I cuss you out and you in the next room over there and I cuss you out on social media. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. So shout out to my brother Al Sanders, Coach Al, man. Thanks, Coach Sean, correcting the board. Yeah, man. Come on. Didn't disrespect Ebony. Everybody love Ebony up in here. She come in, have a good time with us. Everything about Ebony, besides those Cleveland Browns, is absolutely awesome. You know what I'm saying? But nah, Ebony know I pick with her all the time, man. You can't come here and disrespect her like that. We ain't going for that at all. No shape, no form, no how. Period. Yeah, man, James, I'm good to everybody, bro. I like to laugh. I don't want no problems with nobody, man. I'm a lovable person. I love hard, man, but I hate hard too. I don't have no issue with telling you to your face, bro. In real life, real time. That's anybody know me would tell you that. I'm my mama's son, bro. You gotta understand that. You know what I mean? He disrespecting Bama and Ohio State in the same sentence. I told him to stop, and he went in on me. That's okay. Guess what he's disrespecting you at now, Ebony? Somewhere else. It's okay. He better not do it again. You know we got love for you, girl. We got your Bozak for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, Marquita, you already know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. What you call it, health and wealth? I'm gonna have to use that. You know I'm gonna use that, health and wealth. They some thumb thugs, bro. You know I'm about to use that. I'm about to go to my little cousins. I got a lot of little boy cousins, and they be cussing each other out over the keyboard. What the hell? Like, do y'all know I tried that in the comment section one time? We was arguing about Bama and LSU, and it was some LSU fans. We was cussing each other out. I tried to curse and argue on the comments, and let me tell you, I wasn't even spelling mother effer. I was putting mother plucker with a P. I was putting damn with an F. It would say fam instead of damn. I can't do it, man. Like they be typing fast and be looking perfect sentences. I be saying stupid stuff. I can't do it. I can't do it, Auntie Janet. Janet Forsyth. I cannot curse through this keyboard. I just can't do it. I apologize. I'm slow. I am with this non-confrontational through the keyboard violence. You know, it's a bit much for me. you know. So, but on another note, they have Morocco social media gangster, SMGs, social media gangsters. That's what I call them. That's a good thing too. SMGs, man. Right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, Nico. It's crazy, bro. But on another note, guys, the good news is Bama is getting hot and hot and more hot and more hot. Kids are seeing the difference. I really like the interview that Coach Smoot did with the young man from Mill Creek, because he said it. He said that we want to be the first class to come in post Coach Saban and show the standard is still the standard. He said, we want to be the first class to come in and show, hey, man, it's all good. And I think some of the recruits are looking at that as a challenge, right? I think some of the recruits are looking at that like, hey, we want to be first. We want to be first. This is post Coach Saban. Coach Saban left this program in a great state. We want to be the first class to come in and say, hey, that was us. That was us. You know how we look at Julio Jones in them class? I think it was Julio Jones in them class, 2008, 7, 8. I think it was Julio and Mark Barron and Mark Ingram and who else was in that gun class? Marcel Darius and Dante Hightower, and because I know Rolando was already there. Boo was already there. He was there through Shula's last year. 2008. Yeah, look how we look at that class. Look how we look at that class. That was the first. Then was the OG class who started this whole thing, right? So these kids are looking at it like, hey, I want to be a part of this. These two kids we got here in the last 2 days are awesome, guys. Coach Al, you already know. These guys can play at multiple levels. These guys can play multiple positions. Great speed, great length, aggressive. Man, I'm ecstatic, man. I'm ecstatic, bro. I promise you. We're doing absolutely awesome. Health and wealth. Let me catch you, health and wealth. Health and wealth said, Coach Sean, do you think Caleb Downs will come back? You know, health and wealth? I don't think he will. I think the monetary value of what Caleb got was so different than most kids. I don't think so. I don't think Caleb would be back to Alabama. I know there was some scuttlebutt about that. I don't think so, man. I think that kid is entrenched in Ohio State for whatever reason. And, shout out to him, right? Ray Parham, what's up, bro? How you feeling, man? What's going on with you, Ray? How you doing, bro? Good to see you up in here, Ray. For sure, man. Where you been, broski? Good to see you up in here, man. Selena Martinez. I'm not one to pull the women card, but I've been disrespected many times by men here on social media solely for being a woman. So refreshing to see someone put a stop to that. Come on, Coach Sean W. Hey, Selena, listen, I'm my mama's son, man. You understand what I'm saying? My mother raised me. My father died at an early age. I love women, man. I have a daughter right now, man, and she my world, bro. I ain't social media, real life. I'm just not cut from that fabric, man. No disrespect to those that are. As long as I'm on this social media stuff, they're not going to talk crazy y'all in here, bro. Now, they can get at you about Alabama and whatever team they're from, but disrespecting you, being personal, nah, we ain't going for that. We ain't going for that, Selena. You protected in here, man. Much love to you, Selena, for tapping in. Always tap in with us. We appreciate you more than you know. All of us do. That's a whole fact. Hey, Janet says she ready. Janet ain't going for it. Janet said, I come here locked and loaded. Yeah, come on in tonight. We're going to have a good time tonight. Just us having a good time around the table together, man. I'm finna get you back. Hold on one second. Shout out to Jared, man. Jared with the $5 super chat. Jared says they got that old English quirky life tatted on their chest. Coach, facts. Jared breaking out the old slogans. That's a whole fact, Jared. I couldn't say it best, my friend. Thank you for that $5 super chat, broski. Roll Tide to Jared and your family, man. That's a whole fact, Jay. My homeboy Bass say, Coach, how you feeling about the first scrimmage game tomorrow? I can't wait, man. You know what, guys? That's something we hadn't talked about. That scrimmage game is going to really tell a lot. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you can get some competitive competition, right? Some competitive competition, it's going to tell you a lot, man. You know, it's going to open the floodgates for questions, and it's going to open the floodgates for some small early answers. Who gonna be at left tackle? Small early answer. Who's gonna be at corner? Small early answer, right? So I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. Real Red 100 says, Coach Sean, you gotta do a meet and greet. Yeah, we'll be down there at A-Day, man. I'm still putting the finishing touches on trying to get down to A-Day with my brothers, man, and meet some of the undefeated, man, and just vibe with everybody, man. When God give you a chance to be blessed, man, you got to take it. You got to take it, even though flesh don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole fact, man. John M says, facts. Same here, Coach. Pops passed when I was 14. Have 4 beautiful girls. I wish someone would disrespect the woman. That's a whole fact, John. That's a whole fact, John. That's much love to you, bro. That's much love to you, family. That's a whole fact. Ebony said, these good old South men. Hey, Ebony, it's good and bad apples everywhere, baby. You know how they go. It's just, we're a family in here. And I try to speak for this chat. I see Marquita and I see Ebony and my brothers in here, Moon Rocker and 334, and I see Kimberly in here, and I see everybody you see all the time, and Janet in here, and Cynthia Middleton in here, and pretty much everybody that we see all the time, man. Even the people that come in and you're not familiar with them, they respectful, so you get them respect back, man. I tell people all the time, when you get to a certain age. Now, when I was younger, you know how when you're young, you man, listen, you young. You go through what you go through, right? When you get older, my respect ain't even earned no more. I'm gonna give it to you from the jump. So respect ain't really earned with me no more at my age, bro. But disrespect is. Hope you felt that. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give that respect to you. If I first meet you, no matter who you is, it ain't earned. I'm gonna give it to you. You ain't gotta earn nothing. I'm gonna give it to you. But that disrespect is earned, cuz all the way live. I just ate, Marquita. Right before I got on here, I ate me an omelet, an egg white omelet, and it was absolutely scrumptious, to say the least. So I'm good right now, man. I'm good, thank God. But yeah, I can't wait for that scrimmage, guys. I can't wait for that scrimmage. I really, really, really want to see what's going on. I'm interested in, is he going to release the details? Is he going, how Coach Saban wouldn't really tell us anything about the scrimmage. You had to wait for some alum to drop what's going on or something like that. I hope the board gives us some details. I understand why he doesn't, because you don't want to make the left tackle who started and had a bad game feel like somebody's going to take my place, or you don't want to make the second string guy feel like I won't have a chance to start. You want to keep everything open, so you don't want to praise too many individuals. You want to say the defense played well or the offense played well. You kind of want to do it like that to keep everybody, engaged, I guess, if you will. My brother Gil Cruz say, I know the feeling. Pops was killed when I was 2. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. So respect the women, because you wouldn't want anyone disrespecting your mother or grandmother. All facts, Gil. All facts, man. I'm sorry to hear that about your father, man. I hate those kind of stories, bro. It's too many of those stories, bro. Too many of them, man. Roll Tide to you, Gil. Emily Harmon says, I ate mac and cheese in a cup, and it was good. That Coach Sean, my favorite meal. You like mac and cheese like that? Favorite meal? Ooh, man, that's hard to choose from, Kimberly. I like Taco Mama. I ain't saying that's my favorite meal, but I enjoy the I think it's called Jorge's nachos. I can't even eat all that stuff, man, but it's freaking delicious. It's absolutely nutritious and delicious. Taco Mama is great. Taco Mama is absolutely outstanding here in Madison, over in town, Madison. It really, really is. I suggest everybody. What's up? Got my man from Philly in here. Oh man, let me give him some love right quick. Where you go? Shout out to Damon Splashing. Love from Philly. What's up, Damon Splashing? What's going on with you, broski? Pleasure to meet you, bro. Glad you up in here, man. For sure. Thank you for tapping in, Damien. Always tap in with us, man. This is the Undefeated. William Chun. Coach, please speak on your opinion with Proctor coming back with the revolving transfer portal. What I said the other day, William, in a nutshell, was once I had time to really think about it and you know, really digest Hayden coming back. If the team is good with it, I'm good with it, right? He's young, you know. Lord knows if you gave me $200K when I was 18, I don't know where I would be at. Kind of glad I didn't have it, right? South Beach, here I come, right? The kid made a mistake, man. He left Bama prematurely after Saban left, right? Went to Iowa, his home state. Went there and realized, just like J.C. Latham said, the grass wasn't green on the other side, man. The grass was not greener on that side. Now, I don't know exactly what details of grass were not greener, but if I had to imagine, it's Iowa, bro. You're from the state. You understand. If I can be honest, Iowa sort of offensively wasn't very good, right? At Bama, you're going to play in the biggest games, in the biggest conference, at one of the nicest, biggest, most competitive schools. They're going to keep you paid, and they're going to have an opportunity to boost your NFL portfolio and get you ready for the next level. If you find somewhere better than that, bro, you should go. But the problem is, Caden, it's not many places better, if any, right? So just as well as we gave him criticism for leaving, I give him praise for coming back, because it took some big cojones to come back, to walk back through that door and to face that same team that you left, right? And I also said, William, that if I were on the team and he was my brother, he was my boy, I would praise him in public. I would never let the public know my true feelings. But when we got behind closed doors, I would tell him about it. So I would tell him how I felt. Hey man, that was some, you know, that's what you do to your brother. You don't jump on your brother in the open for everybody to critique, right? Because even though you may be smarter from the distance, it just looked like two fools arguing, right? So you don't jump on your brother in the open. You wait till you get behind closed doors with them, away from all the cameras, then you tell him how you feel, right? So he'll understand. So that's my feeling. I welcome him back, and anything that can help the tide. I think my analogy was, as a Bama fan, I'm ecstatic that he's back, especially at that position, right? But as a college football fan, this is what Coach Saban was referring to. It just is. So, you know. Jared says that $200K would have been gone by the time I was 20. Shh, exactly. Man, I'm going, man, listen, undefeated. Let me be real for a minute. $250K, I'm taking every homeboy. I'm taking my whole football team. I'm taking 68 players from Alabama A&M University to South Beach. We going to the most expensive bar. We gonna rent Ferraris, act like they ours. You know how you do in college, you be fronting. Oh, it's mine, lying, knowing it ain't yours. You know, normal stuff in college. So yeah, I didn't deserve no $200K, man. I would have made the wrong decision. Trust and believe that. You know, my mother wouldn't have let me have that much money, no way. Todd said, Chris Owens said him coming back won't be a problem. And I'm sure it won't be, Todd. I'm sure it won't be. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm sure it won't be. But if I know Tyler Booker and, you know, Jaden Roberts, I'm sure those guys will get him by himself and tell him how they really feel. We love you, bro. We love you. But come on, man. You know, if they ain't wearing crimson, you know, you can love on him and still be honest with him all at the same time, right? So I agree with you, Todd. I don't think it'll be a problem. But it'll be some conversations had. It'll be some you better believe it'll be some From what I hear, Wilkin Formby, excuse me, guys, allergies killing me. From what I hear, Wilkin Formby was the kid who really put his foot down and claimed that that credit. I think him and Wilkin are extremely close from what I hear. And so if I can imagine, Wilkin seems like a big straight up kid. I'm imagining Wilkin told him all the great things he's missing out on, all while telling him, come on, man, look, that was a mistake, you know? if you guys remember when Caleb left, Terrion sort of done the same thing without saying it. Terrion had a video where he played, it had soft, hurtful music, but he looked at the camera like, come on, Caleb, man. And the message was to Caleb Downs. He was just laying down like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So the players will welcome all the former Bama players back with open arms, but it'll be some conversation had. You better believe that from somebody. It'll be talked about. That's a whole fact. And Caden seems like a straight up kid. He don't seem like he, weak or nothing. The kid stood in front of the camera and said what he said. He was almost too damn honest when he left Alabama, right? So I think Caden is going to go in there and take his lumps behind closed doors, right? And take his love right after that. Yeah. It goes like that. It goes like that, It is what it is, guys. That's a whole fact. Ebony's coming down to A-Day with young Noah and her family, and I hope to see them. And we're going to tap in with one another. Nicole Covington, are you coming to A-Day? Carla, are you guys coming to A-Day? Janet Forsyth, are you guys coming to A-Day? I want to know, are you guys coming? We're all going to try. Marquita, are you coming? Antoine, are you coming? We'll see if all the people are coming, man. Bear, are you coming down now? Michael says, at coach and undefeated, got to step out for a bit. Y'all stay awesome. Roll Tide, Michael. Roll Tide to you, man. Yeah, I'm about to end the live here in a few minutes myself. You guys have been absolutely awesome, bro. You guys are always awesome to me. And I really, 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 really appreciate you more than you know. I can speak for all the coaches when I say you guys make this channel. That's why we're so protective of you. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, bro? I ain't even see you. What's up, Caleb King? How you doing, my friend? Roll Tide to you, broski. Oh, LaQuasia, you coming? Good stuff. Good stuff. I might tap in with you on some of this decor, man, for sure. You know what I mean? I don't know what I need to get another couch, and I don't know what couch to get. I'm having problems with that. I don't want it to look too feminine. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be, but I don't want it to look too masculine either. I don't want to throw a damn Top Gun poster up in the living room, right? I want it to be nice, but I need some help, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. Yeah, Kimberly, I hope you do. I hope you get it. I hope that'll be real, real good. For everybody take one big ass picture to everybody. That'd be great. I thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you for that. That means a lot to me. I'm still learning this social media, so sometimes it might come off a little raw and edgy, but I'm trying to learn how not to do that. Right? I'm trying to. That's why I like listening to Ty Hayes a lot, because Ty to me is like the consummate professional. I love listening to Ty because Ty really gives me pointers on what to say, how to say it. Like, me, I'll just be like, you was a goofy ass. I just want to say it. But sometimes you just let he teaching me how to say that without saying that, So yeah, man, shout out to them, man. I hope so, Carla. That's good stuff. I hope so. I hope you guys get to be there. That'll be great. I definitely will. That'll be real good. That'll be real good, Marquita. That'll be real good, man. For sure. I've been craving it too, man. I love taco. I love Taco Mama. I absolutely love it. That's a whole fact. I definitely will. Bama fan 95. What's up with you, broski? Yeah, I know, right? The scrimmage, though, guys. The scrimmage tomorrow. We're gonna tap in tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. That scrimmage is gonna be, it's gonna be straight, man. That scrimmage is gonna be what it is, right? That's when you get some. I call it clacking. We've always called it clacking. I get that from my partner from Birmingham, Watanji Adams. They're gonna get the clacking on tomorrow. Full pads, clacking, baby. We full tempo, game style, speed, right? So we're gonna see what's going on tomorrow. Somebody gonna want a position. Yes, I'm the same way. I just say it. I know, Todd, right? But I'm trying not to do that on this type of setting. But every once in a while, man, buttons get pushed, and you just have to say what it is, brother. Y'all live somewhere close to each other? Yeah. We do. A couple of blocks from each other. It's not very far. It's not very far at all. Yeah, facts, Bear. Facts, Moon Rocker. So listen, guys. Yeah, me too, Kimberly. I love Taco Mama. I love Taco Mama. I love it, man. That's a whole fact. So I'm about to end this live, guys. Let me say that I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. You guys make this channel what it is, man. Don't never let nobody tell you different, right? You guys are the reason I tap in and do this. That's a whole fact. Wasn't for you guys, I probably wouldn't do this stuff, man. You know what I mean? To be honest with you. Shout out to the man himself, Kyle Henderson. You know, love Kyle to death. You know what I mean? I call him Beard Life Kyle because I can remember Kyle without the beard and with the beard. I've been through both stages with him, right? Kyle is the mastermind with Lady T behind this whole thing, bro. To take this platform where it started. I can remember when Kyle had 12,000 subscribers, right? I remember this. Look at this channel today. Look at this channel today, man. And you guys, the fan funders, the undefeated, the fans who tap in, it's because of y'all, man. You guys are the reason Kyle go hard like that. Kyle got that streak in him anyway to go hard. Lady T is as professional as it comes, right? Look what y'all do, man. Look what you guys do, you know? To take Ty Hayes, a guy with a huge platform who's always talked great football, right? To him, to take Coach J, a guy with a huge platform who's always talked football, right? You need to check some of Coach J's material out too, especially look up the rants when the Bills lose. That soft, smoking, quiet, calm, cool, collective J that y'all think y'all know? No, sir. J be losing it. I'm talking about straight coming unglued, man. I love it too. I love hearing Coach J drop an F-bomb. You know what I'm saying? Check Coach J out. I'm telling you, to take Coach J, to take Coach Smook, who already had his own platform on multiple different platforms, right? You know, and to find Merrill, someone with like-minded individuals, somebody with like-minded visions and know the game and take his dialect and turn that stuff into what you have. And to take me, someone who used to hate social media in every way possible, didn't take part in none of it, and put us all in that pot, man, and come up with a great chat like you guys and some guys that all get along, right? And just enjoy talking football. And everybody sort of got their lane. Smook is the insider, right? Kyle is like I called him Suge Knight before. What I meant by that is he's like the top guy that leads all the little strings, right? You got Lady T behind the wheels of steel. That means is she usually is behind, you know, directing the sound, the music, the graphics, everything, right? You got Coach J, the calm logic, right? The logic that's so calm and so strong, you can't even deny it. You got Ty Hayes, the debater. You want to argue with something, Ty can absolutely kill you without even cursing you. I'm trying to be like that, right? See, I can't kill you without cursing you. I'll say smack your damn lips off. Ty will say, I'll engage and enhance in a violent act toward your Lipicus face. That's how he'll say it. And it just sounds better to me, right? Shout out to Ty, man. Then you got Merrill, straight from Washington, doing his thing. Defensive guy. No defense up, down, left, right. No more defense than I probably ever even seen, right? You understand what I'm saying? You got Smook on all platforms, the insider, like I said. And you got myself, the football guy, the offensive guy. Yeah, I can talk offense with anybody you put in front of me, right? I talked offense with Lane Kiffin at a camp. You know what I mean? Face to face. I can talk offense all day. So it all meshes well, man. And I'm blessed to be a part of it. Blessed to be a part of it, man. So roll tide to you all. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all can tap in tonight. Yeah, health and wealth. I know, right? Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you, my broski, Al Sanders, Cook Barlow, right? Moon Rocker, Tim Nolan, Ebony. Shout out to Young Noah too, man. Shout out to Young Noah, man. Auntie Janet, Marquita, Dwight, Caleb King, Eniko Gordon, the brother, my broski, Nicole Covington, you know, everybody. Thank you, Rocket Town. Tap in tonight. Jerick and I are on at 7. And then Smook and Miro are on at 8. And somewhere in between that transition, between 7:40-ish. I think we're all gonna tap in. Ty, get Ty. I'm gonna text Ty, tell him to come on. So we'll let Ty be the moderator, so we all won't talk over one another. And remember, bring your cups. And when you bring your cup, let everybody in the chat know you got your cup. Drop a cup emoji. I don't know if they got a cup emoji or not, or somewhere. We're gonna get one if we don't have one. And it's G14 classified. You cannot discuss the contents of your cup. Love y'all to death, man. This is Jay. Everybody tap in with me at JMHO Sports Talk. Just my humble opinion. That's all it is, right here on the platform. Shout out to you guys. It's Roll Tide to you all. And tap in with us tonight. And you hope you guys have a great Friday, man. That's much love from Coach Sean to all of you. See you then.